Hypocrisy.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Law-Splaining the Interwebs. I am your host, Nick Rekieta of Rekieta Law, a small law firm in central Minnesota. And oh my, I need to clean everything up here. It's all raggedy. I gotta trim down. Oh my goodness, I'm fuzzy. And what's up, guys? How are you today? Oh boy. Fog Smitty, I can't unbox it. I didn't get it today. It might be at my P.O. box still. I didn't go to the P.O. box today, so calm down. I'm pretty sure somebody went there and I did not see it. So, because I opened some different stuff from the P.O. box, but yours is not there. So you're gonna have to wait. This weird and horrible as it is, I'm gonna do it. Even though I already know what it's gonna be. It makes it worse. Get a haircut, hippie? Yeah, I need to go do that. Fuzzy, not furry. Yeah. Yeah, I should probably get a haircut before Friday, right? Oh my God. That's well, I'm sure it got delivered. I didn't go to the post office today. Someone else went to the post office. I think they did. There were some boxes that weren't here before, but it also could have been delivered to the post office after they got there. I don't know. Don't get a haircut. You don't have many left. Rude. Hold on. I'm eating this sandwich. Leave me alone. This sandwich is breaded. Oh my gosh. So of course, I've had to, God, it's disgusting, isn't it? I've had to, kind of adapt the food action here because what I was eating a lot of days was, I'd grill up a chicken breast or a pork chop or something like that, have some rice, add a couple vegetables, maybe chop it up, stir fry it, whatever. Nope. Jelly in my mustache. That is gone. The days of that are gone. So I've had to learn, it's not that I don't eat other things. It's that I was used to eating and cooking a specific thing, whip it together in 5-10 minutes, right? Not a big deal. But now I'm having to expand. So today I was like, it's really good. Red beans and rice. But I don't have any red beans. But I had black beans, Binger beans, according to Matthew Harris. I had Binger beans. And so I made black beans and rice with, and I can't eat sausage because sausage tastes like trash. So I had some ground bison, which costs the exact same as ground beef. So that was fine. I was like, oh, I wonder how bison tastes. I wonder how bison tastes to me now. I've had bison before. I like it. It's fine. Delicious. Not a hint of the sour, nasty taste that I've been getting with the pork and the chicken primarily. But I was worried because, like ground up meat has a lot of fat in it and cooking the fat could have caused a problem. Nope. No problem at all. So I made ground bison, black beans and rice. Oh my God, it was good. But it takes a little while to cook. It takes you, like 45 minutes to put this together because it's got to simmer for about 30 minutes. But so I make this food and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go eat it. Let me go show Lady Rackets what I made. And because she had already eaten dinner, but I made her some too. And and I just put it in the fridge. I didn't make the rice in advance. That'd be silly, but I just made some of the stuff. I made a double batch and I left some in the fridge. That way, if she wants it tomorrow, she could heat it up and eat it. And she's like, "Oh, what's that?" And I was like, "Oh, this is the thing I made. You want to try it?" She says, "Yeah." So she takes my bowl and just starts eating all of it, like some sort of thief or Philistine or whatever, just shoveling food into her mouth. I'm like, the hell is this? Am I going to get to eat my food? And she's like, yeah, eventually. So, hence the sandwich, because I'm still hungry. Mm. 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 Oh my God. I love sandwiches. All right. Mm. Chance Schofield. Schofield? Yeah, I mean, I would love bison. Oh, so today I find out that one of my I have a refrigerator in my garage. You know, we store extra stuff out there. Yeah, it's just not working. It apparently hasn't been for a couple days. No big deal. It's fine. Just not keeping anything cold. The freezer's dead. Everything in there's thawed out. So that's effing great. Why am I complaining about this? Well, okay, here's the deal. It's Tuesday, right? It's Tuesday. And man, I have been struggling to find, topics to bring. This is the hardest part of the job, is finding things to talk about every day. Finding things to talk about every day is the toughest part of what I do. Because, I mean, you just talk about stuff, you give your opinion, that's fine. But figuring out what the topic is tough. And so I was looking around at what to do, and I have no idea. I have no idea what to do, what to talk about. So we have a little bit of a mix up tonight. The Ethan Crumbley's parents, the preliminary hearing for them started today. Oh God. The preliminary hearing started today for them. I thought about making you watch all of it. It's 7 hours of live stream. I mean, there's a significant break in there too, but it's still like 6 hours of live stream. I didn't want to do that to you. But I have a couple spots that we may want to watch, right? We may want to watch. There's one in particular. There's the testimony of the expert witness who recovered the phone messages from the cell phones of the parents and Ethan Crumbley. So I thought we would watch that for sure tonight. May get to the whole hearing. The rest of the hearing will occur on the 22nd. So I was thinking, might preview the cell phone guy tonight, and I might do a stream of the hearing tomorrow. I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm going to do during the day tomorrow, if anything yet. But so we have that. That's on the menu. It's about a 30-minute hearing, or a 30-minute testimony from the guy. So that's one. Next, we have vitamin D. Have you guys heard of vitamin D? You know about this? You know about vitamin D? You heard of it? Have you heard about vitamin D? So vitamin D is this interesting substance. It's a vitamin called vitamin D. And when you take it, that's good. Or if you just go outside, that's also good. You can go in the sun and your body will produce vitamin D. Unless you have, some people have a, deficiency. Body doesn't produce as much or whatever. You supplement it. It's fine. It's cool. It's good. There's a study out of Israel that sorry, that's about vitamin D. I don't know why they're studying vitamin D right now. I'm not sure about it, but as it turns out, there's some people who, if they don't have enough vitamin D in their diet, they fucking die from the coof. But it turns out if you eat vitamin D, if you're just like chomping the pills, you might not die as hard from the coof. Okay? So it's interesting because there's now a study about this. What makes it interesting to me is that I heard about this well over a year ago. Like, for some reason, it's just now. And I mean, we're talking about the pastor at my church comes up to me. Older guy, bigger guy, overweight. I don't know what level of overweightness, if he's like obese level or just overweight. I don't know. He's a big guy, older gentleman, really nice guy. I like him a lot. And he came up to me, this is last year sometime, and he had gotten over COVID. His wife's a nurse or something like that. Or was a nurse, is a nurse. I don't know. I'm bad at knowing people sometimes. But anyway, so we were just yakking, and I was like, oh, yeah, I heard you got over COVID. And he said, yeah, well, it was really easy. It's like, really? You're old. He's like, well, when I got it, my wife's a nurse. She told me take a bunch of vitamin D, kind of knocked it out. No problem. Didn't have any issues. It's like, huh. Okay, cool. Well, as it turns out, there's a study out there now about this, and the rest of the world gets to learn about what my random pastor in a small town in the middle of Minnesota already knew. I wonder if there was discussion and talk about vitamin D going on for the past 2 years. I wonder if that's been going on, but just like no one can actually talk about it. I bet it's like just no one can actually discuss it. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe it's not actually that people didn't know. It's maybe that people can't talk about it, because if you talk about how vitamin D could help, they'll be like, oh my God, this means that people won't listen to the government. For some reason, they think that that's what that means. I don't actually know how that translates, but they say, oh God, if they're out here willy-nilly just sucking down vitamin D pills, then they won't listen to the government, and then there won't be any control. Censor, 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 censor. I hate censorship. I hate censorship. So anyway, we'll probably talk about that in a little bit more. Check out the article. And then I have a threat for you, a death threat, if you will. I'm going to deliver a death threat to the entire chat right now. Now, I know that death threats are a violation of every term of service on the planet, but I am willing to risk it. I'm willing to risk it and death threat you all. Get threatened. If I run out of things to talk about tonight, I'm going to bring up that fucking podcast, those two fat ladies, and I'm going to make you listen to more of it. That's right. Unbreaded. You think you're better than me? You think you're fucking better than you think you could sit here and be in an audience with me? You think I won't do it? You think I won't do it? I'm a sandwich eating motherfucker. In fact, Death threats aren't a death threat without a visual aid. Let me show you. Let me show you. You see this? Right there. 15 minutes and 46 seconds. It stopped exactly where I did. There's nothing you can do. If you piss me off, boom, it's coming for you. It's coming for you. Fair warning. Okay. Oh, and that applies to you too, you fuckers on Odyssey. Eat shit. Oh, we're on Odyssey. You can't mess with us. I'll fucking send that shit right to you. Right to your house. Right to your goddamn door. Okay. Let's get these super chats. Let's get these super chats. And then we'll start getting into this. We'll get into this thing. I do want to let you know that our daily unbreaded has not been getting the stream demonetized lately. So that's good. It's all about the timing, right? Waiting that 2 hours. You got to wait that 2 hours for it to happen. But so the segment gets to continue. I mean, if it was going to demonetize every stream, not that I particularly care about monetizing the live streams with ads. Like that's not a big deal. The problem with getting demonetized all the time is the more often you're demonetized anywhere, the harder it is to get like short videos monetized. And that's bullshit. So that's the only time I get like a little annoyed or concerned with demonetizing. Otherwise, it doesn't really matter that much. But it hasn't been doing it. They don't care as long as it's after 2 hours. And I guess the bingers, although I do need to come up with a new word for a chink in my armor, right? I have to come up with a new word for moo goo guy pant. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a couple racial slurs in there that I have to come up with new words for. Because if you say them, like again, ninja, but ninjas are Japanese. Jackie Chan. Someone pointed out that saying Ching Chong might be more racist than what's on the page. And I was like, that's not a bad point. Maybe I should come up with something different. But I don't know if The Rock can say it. I think I can too. Right? So who knows? Anyway, let's get to these things. And then I think we'll start off with the Crumbley Hour. I bet you won't do it. You don't have the balls to do it. Your threats are weak. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Enigma, the basement troll, says Bengals or Rams for Super Bowl 56. Choose carefully, Nick. Bengals. Bengals. That's what I choose. How wrong did I get it? El Gonza 1000 says late and hetero flexible. Only when you're there, bud. Okay. Fog Smitty says unbox my present, Dad. We discussed this. I did not actually receive the present today. Here at my house. I believe it must still be at the P.O. box because so we will get to that. KK Winkle says, obviously you don't know that tortillas are better sandwich making material over bread. Look, I used to make peanut butter and jelly tortillas, which are delicious, by the way. The problem with them is, so I would roll them. I don't know if that's proper, but I would make them and then roll them up. But you got to do the like burrito thing where you got to like tuck at least the back end of it in and then roll it. Otherwise, shit's just falling all over the place. Jelly squirting everywhere. But as you eat a peanut butter and jelly tortilla, it still pushes the peanut butter and the jelly back further and further as you bite down, and eventually it will it'll burst through the side. It's gross. It's a mess. But I love peanut butter and jelly tortillas. I love peanut butter and jelly just about everything. Peanut butter and jelly chicken breasts, just kidding. That'd be disgusting. Probably. Squizgar says, man, I haven't had a sandwich in months on a diet. Now I want one. Hate you. No, sorry, buddy. Billy Witch Doctor 99 says, did you put the jelly on top of the peanut butter? No. No. Oh my God. I actually do something you guys are going to hate me. I haven't shown you this because I know it's going to happen when I do. You're going to be pissed. You ready to be pissed off? This isn't just a normal sandwich. You see this? There's 3 pieces of bread in there. You can also see my Parkinson's acting up because I'm old. There's 3 pieces of bread there. Right? That means the peanut butter doesn't touch the jelly. So you got the peanut butter, and then you got butter, and then jelly. Yum. Oh my God. Oh. Oh. Oh my God, so good. Oh, it's such a good sandwich. You're right. Lady Rackets would not eat it. She hates unmelted butter. I love butter. Butter's delicious. Scarlock says, thoughts on government issued crack pipes for racial inequality by the Biden administration? That's not real. That's not real. Also, should they include a syringe, cooking spoon, and lighter? Or is that Anglo-centric? Wait. That is not a thing that's true. Is it really? Crack pipes or wait, what? Hold on. This is apparently a thing. All I hear, by the way, are my kids screaming. I'll be right back. Oh my goodness. Ah, these kids, man. These kids. I'm like, guys, you're supposed to be asleep by now. Not just like in bed. But were they in bed? No. No. They're running around throwing a Care Bear at each other. Because that's the same thing as going to bed, basically. Is throwing a Care Bear at each other. So I'm like, guys, every night. It's every night right now you're doing this. Let's see. Okay. Biden administration to fund the distribution of crack pipes and syringes to promote racial equity. On Monday, applications closed for the Biden administration's new $30 million grant program to provide crack pipes and smoking kits to promote racial equity. Whose idea was let's give the blacks crack? What? What is this? Or are they handing out crack pipes to other ethnicities to try and get them to catch up? Like, what is the goal here? Starting this May, the Harm Reduction Program will provide taxpayer funds to nonprofits and local governments that work to make drug use safer for addicts. Free Beacon reports. Overseen by the Department of Health and Human Services, the grants will be allocated towards smoking kits / supplies that will provide pipes for users to smoke crack cocaine, crystal meth, and any illicit substance. Only illicit substances, though. You can't use these pipes for good, clean substances. Only illicit ones. The program hopes the kits will reduce the risk of infection when doing drugs with glass pipes. It prioritizes the organizations that target underserved communities, including African Americans and the gays. Let's dump a bunch of crack pipes on the gays. No, come on. No, this can't be real. This cannot be actually a real thing. What? What? This webpage is like just chugging along. They must be mining crypto off of my web traffic. Funding will be used to enhance overdose and other types of prevention activities. Wait, enhance overdose? I guess overdose prevention to help control the spread of infectious diseases and the consequences of such diseases for individuals with or at risk of developing substance use disorders. I don't think they have a disorder for substance use. I think they've got that ordered down just fine. Wait, does this mean that Ralph is going to get one? Are they going to send poor black Virginia men crack pipes so Ethan Ralph will get one? I'm the best there is in the sector. There have been mixed responses to the program, with some states opting out of the program. You think? Some states are like, please don't send more crack pipes in. We've got enough. Imagine if they tried to do this with gun crime. I'd be for it, right? Well, to get some gun crime equity up in this bitch, the U.S. government is dropping $30 billion to hand guns out to everyone on the street. Oh, please put me in an impoverished community and hit me a handgun. While cities like San Francisco and Seattle have started distributing the kits. Meanwhile, Republicans are blasting the program for using taxpayer dollars to aid in drug abuse. You think? Marco Rubio is like, there's no end in sight for this lunacy. Because this is lunacy. What does this have to do with racial equity? Oh, we're promoting racial equity, black man. Here is your crack pipe. I mean, can you be more offensive than that? Like, can you get actually more racist than this program? I thought this is like an extrapolation. Like, you know how they do this sometimes, like a right-wing blog will grab something and they'll kind of like exaggerate what it could mean. At least that's what they had to do 10 years ago. 10 years ago, they had to take like a news headline and kind of like link, oh, this could mean this through this like weird chain of event. Now they just tell you the truth. Now they just tell you exactly what it says because they're like, I can't even get worse than I can't get worse than the president of the United States ordering crack pipes into the hands of black people for equity. That, I mean, there's just no way to fix this and make it into a worse situation than it is. Last week, Biden talked about being tough on crime, Senator Tom Cotton said. This week, the Biden admin announced funds for crack pipe distribution to advance racial equity. President Biden's son, Hunter Biden, has openly admitted to using crack. I'm kidding. Is he the ambassador? Did they appoint him as crack czar? Some critics argue the new program reflects the president's sympathy towards drug abuse because of his son. Funding for the grant program is provided through the American Rescue Plan, will last 3 years and includes 25 awards of up to $400,000. There you go. I gotta shut down this website. Oh my gosh, it's killing my computer. Wow. That was magic. That's again, you could not ask for anything better than that. Like, oh, thank you, government. Thank you, government, for just for being you, you know. Shadow Ban Warrior, I do want that. I want the 3-minute video. What do you got? What do you got? Check Snopes. It says it's fake, but admits it's real. Come on. Okay. Snopes crack pipes. All right. Well, let's see. Let's see what Snopes has to say here. Thank you, Dan McGill. I don't want whatever that was. All right. Channel is Black Woman Views Media. Did Biden and Min fund crack pipes to advance racial equity? News reports in February 2022 grossly misrepresented the facts about a federal harm reduction program. Oh, did they? Did they misrepresent the facts? Let's see. I'm about to be unbreaded. Mostly false. Okay, well, if it's mostly false, that's great. In 2022, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Substance Abuse Harm Reduction Grant did require recipients to provide safer smoking kits to existing drug users. In distributing grants, priority would be given to applicants serving historically underserved communities. However, I mean, that's all just true then. That's just true. This was just one of around 20 components of the grant program and far from its most prominent or important one. Oh, is it? Despite being the primary focus of outraged news reports, the purpose of the program was to reduce harm and the risk of infection among drug users, not to advance racial equity, although that was a secondary consideration. That's not the purpose. I mean, it's one of the purposes, but it's not the only purpose. I mean, it's not the primary purpose, I guess. For its part, chicksontheright.com went with the headline, Biden admin spending $30 million to give crack pipes drug kits to addicts for advancing racial equity. Well, it's just happens to be fucking true. Let's see. The Biden administration will soon fund the distribution of crack pipes to drug addicts in underserved communities for the purpose of advancing racial equity, the Washington Free Beacon reported. Collectively, these articles gave readers a grossly misleading and reductive presentation. How'd they collectively do that? Did they get together and collectively decide to coordinate their narratives? Is that what you're saying? Because collectively, not I am more likely to read The Blaze than Chicks on the Right, and I'm not likely to read either of them. So I wouldn't collectively see these two articles. I'm actually probably even more likely to read the Free Beacon, and I'm not very likely to read that either. But I don't know about the collectively. We are issuing a rating of mostly false. It's true that the grant description required the provision of smoking kits, an established component of harm reduction strategy, but in reality, those kits constituted just one of several subcomponents of an even longer list of requirements for grant recipients. In other words, while outrage media coverage focused almost exclusively on crack pipes, this is actually only a very small part of the program. Actually. Well, actually. Secondly, the provisions of safer smoking supplies did not have as its purpose advancing the cause of racial equity. Rather, its purpose was, quite logically, to reduce harm and infection amongst existing drug users. However, the grant description did state that priority would be given to applicants who serve communities that are historically underserved. In other words, the grant's terms encourage recipients to advance racial equity while working for harm reduction, not the other way around. A crucial distinction which many outlets got wrong. No, they didn't. They didn't get it wrong. They just simply said to promote racial equity, they're going to hand out crack pipes because they fucking are. It's exactly what they're doing. And you're just trying to say that they aren't while saying, but they are. These people, they're not even people, right? Snopes is not even people. I hope we all know this by now. Snopes is just not the things that run Snopes are not people. Okay, here we go. What does the Biden administration's harm reduction document actually say? Blah, blah, blah. You read it in full here. Oh, that makes me want to, let's see, how long is, we'll have to. They have it on, why do they have it on the Wayback Machine? Oh, 75 pages. No, thank you. All right. In order to place the safer smoking kit component of the grant in its proper context and demonstrated that it was just one of the 20 requirements set out in the NOFO, the following is the relevant section of the 75-page document in full with numbered requirements, abridged for the sake of brevity. Okay. Oh my gosh. Did you hear what just happened? Did you see that? The following is the relevant section in full with numbered requirements and abridged. So it's not in full. It's the relevant section, and it's also abridged. And they added numbered requirements as edits. So, okay. Gotcha. Why would you write that? Who wrote this sentence? Can we have them executed? This is this is just a stupid sentence. Okay. Grant funds must be used primarily to support the following required harm reduction activities. Assess organizational readiness and create a strategic action plan, ... Develop a sustainability plan. Let's just add, every time there's a ... let's add to give crack pipes to blacks. Okay, we're going to read this document the way it's actually supposed to be read by the Biden administration. Assess organizational readiness and create a strategic action plan to give crack pipes to blacks. Develop a sustainability plan to give crack pipes to blacks. Develop policies and procedures to implement evidence-based trauma-informed practices to give crack pipes to blacks. Distribute FDA-approved overdose reversal medication and deliver overdose prevention education to target populations to give crack pipes to blacks. Establish processes, protocols, mechanisms for referral to treatment and recovery support services to give crack pipes to blacks. Designate staff to provide program design. Designate staff to give crack pipes to blacks. To provide program design, implementation, and evaluation to give crack pipes to blacks. Purchase equipment and supplies to enhance harm reduction efforts such as Harm reduction. Vending machine. You can get your crack pipes from a fucking vending machine. You know that's what it is. The harm reduction kits. The harm reduction kits include the crack pipes. They got a vending machine for them. Can you imagine? There are places you can go in America. Walking, bloop, 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 bloop. Crack pipes come out. Infectious disease testing kits, medication lock boxes, FDA approved overdose reversal medication, Narcan, safe sex kits, including PrEP resources and condoms, safe smoking kits and supplies, screening for infectious diseases, sharps disposal and medication. Well, you don't want your hepatitis getting in the way of your heroin. Substance test kits, including test strips for fentanyl and other synthetic drugs. Wait. The substance test kits. Is this so you can identify that you're actually getting the fentanyl that you thought you bought? Is that what this is? Please tell me that's what this is. Please tell me this is so you can give it to someone so that if they're buying fentanyl, they can like rub the pill on the paper and find out that it's fentanyl. Like a magic window. Like, this is rat poison. Oh, no, sorry, you lost it. Syringes to prevent and control the spread of infectious diseases. Syringes to distribute heroin into black people. I mean, that's what this is. This is crazy. The syringes, a syringe, by the way, there's no syringe on earth that prevents and controls the spread of infectious disease. Doesn't exist. No syringe does that. Not all of them. Not a single syringe, or not any of them. Not a single syringe does this. I mean, you may put something in them that might help with a disease of some sort, right? Like you got I don't know, like a flu shot, I guess. I don't really like a flu shot, but there's injectable medications for some drug or from some diseases, or you can fill them with, opioids. Like that's a real thing too. This is to give people drugs. Vaccination services, and then wound care management supplies. Emphasis added to safe smoking kits. Typically consist of several other items, including rubber mouthpieces for glass pipes. Well, it's not just crack pipes. It's also rubber mouthpieces for glass pipes, brass screens for crack pipes in order to filter out potentially harmful contaminants or debris. The crack is fine. Put the brass screen on there to save them from everything other than the crack. Are you serious? As well as disinfectant wipes. You wouldn't want to pass around a COVID pipe. As such, they are a logical component of a broader substance abuse strategy of harm reduction. Oh my God. This isn't any better. While the reporting around this document focused almost exclusively on crack pipes, it could just as easily have focused on the infectious disease testing, naloxone provision, or even sterilized syringe distribution required of grant recipients. Okay, they're not giving out crack pipes. They're giving out heroin needles. There we go. I just focused on the sterilized syringe distribution. What do you think they're for? What's naloxone? I don't even know what this is. An opioid antagonist medication is used to reverse an opioid overdose. Oh, so this is like Narcan or whatever. It probably is Narcan. Gotcha. Okay. I had no idea. All right. This is amazing. The second major misrepresentation in the news coverage related to the role of racial equity in the grant program. To be clear, the Biden administration has not stated that the purpose of harm reduction program grant in general or the safe smoking requirement in particular is to advance racial equity. Lest there be any confusion over the stated purpose of the harm reduction program and the grants, the document set that out clearly at the very outset as follows. Support community-based overdose prevention programs, syringe service programs, and other harm reduction services. Funding will be used to enhance overdose and other types of prevention activities to help control the spread of infectious diseases, consequences of such diseases for individuals with or at risk of developing substance use disorders. Well, they won't be at risk for long. I mean, with your helpful strategy of giving them accessibility to crack pipes and syringes, I'm sure they won't be at risk for very long at all. Seems like they'll have it down pat pretty quick. Let's see. Support distribution of FDA approved overdose. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so they said the purpose of the program is this, and then they cut it off. And so they say, well, since we cut it off, it doesn't say anything about racial equity. All right, well, where does it say something about racial equity? So while justthenews.com, for example, wrote in its headline that they needed for racial equity, in reality, it has said no such thing. What the HHS document did say about racial equity, was as follows. Okay. Every applicant for the harm reduction grant is required to provide a 2-page behavioral disparity impact statement, which, roughly speaking, sets out in advance details about the population which the grant applicant serves, including individuals from historically underserved communities, including racial, ethnic, sexual, and gender minority groups. Document further states that the priority populations for this program are underserved communities that are greatly impacted by substance use disorders, and clarifies that underserved communities is defined in Executive Order 13985. Biden's first executive order is a policy of the administration that should pursue a comprehensive approach to advancing equity for all, including people of color and others who have been historically underserved, marginalized, and adversely affected. Also designed as Black, Latino, and Indigenous and Native American persons. So literally exactly what was claimed. Just exactly, though. It's just exactly what was said. It's the exact thing. It's not like close. Finally, it stated that in addition to assessing the overall strengths of each application for a grant, it would prioritize funding for programs which address the needs of underserved communities. So yes, based on equity, they will choose underserved communities to service fucking crack pipes. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. That's exactly what they said. The headlines of the right-wing evil news organizations are exactly correct. They're not even off or exaggerating. They might be underselling it. This is insane. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if George Bush or Donald Trump or whoever was like, all right, look, I've met a lot of Black people, wonderful people, really. A couple of them are very good. Have them on my staff sometimes on occasion when they're the right person, right fit for the job. I don't go by race. What we're going to do, though, today is we're going to go by race a little bit, and we're going to put crack pipes into Black communities. We hear that they like those things around here. Here at the White House, we've heard a little bit about people, particularly Black people liking crack pipes. So we want to get those into the community. Look, they're wonderful they're the cleanest crack pipes you've ever seen. I've seen a lot of crack pipes, and these are really wonderful, clean crack pipes. We'll put them in the hands of all sorts of people, Black people, Latino people, really Native Americans from time to time. They have their own pipes, I hear, some peaceful pipe testers, but that's what we have here. Could you imagine if Trump did this? Like they would have murdered him for how racist that was. They would have they would have actually attempted to kill him. So that is the most racist thing that any president has ever done. Okay, so here we go. Here's all their sources. All of them are correct. 100% right. That's amazing. I did not see that coming. Wait. Okay, what was that? What was the woman's thing? Her channel? It was black woman reads the let's hear Richards apply for a grant. To whom it may concern in the Biden administration, I'm the law office of Mark Richards, and I'm actually here to apply for a grant, funding, whatever you call it, these days, for, some crack pipes. I'm an underserved community, and there aren't really that many defense attorneys out there who represented Kyle Rittenhouse. And I just think maybe there's room for me in the program. Looking for a little bit of funding. Got a couple clients, friends, family maybe partiers, we'll say, who might want a little bit of the action. Oh my God. So what was that? What was that woman's YouTube channel? Black Woman Views Media. Okay. Black Woman Views Media. Here we go. She's 430 videos. Oh, I hate when people don't have their subscriber counts up. All right, let's okay, this is gonna be great. I'm already happy about this. Let me get the audio up for you. All right. Disrupting disinfo. Biden is not spending $30 million on crack pipes. Well, let's see what she has to say about it.
Hey, y'all. So I'm here to debunk this ridiculous piece of disinformation that I've seen, not only on the right-wing outlets, but on the Shade Room. This is why you don't get your news from the gossip blogs.
Don't get your news from the gossip
blogs.
The
Biden-Harris administration is spending $30 million on crack pipes. They're not. They're absolutely the fuck not spending $30 million on crack pipes.
I actually didn't see that was the headline specifically. I think you might be misrepresenting the headline, but okay. I'm with you. Let's see what how do you respond to this?
Come on, y'all got to be smarter. Y'all can't believe that. But I understand we in that environment. Okay. Everybody just take shit around with it and be fake outrage on whatever.
Yeah, that's me.
But I'm going to give you the facts.
I'm not outraged. I think it's hilarious.
All government grants have public announcements. This one is what they're referring to. It's called the Harm Reduction Grant Program. It came out of the American Rescue.
Perfect.
I'm going to read it to you verbatim, and you can tell me if that sounds like $30 million in crack pipes.
Wait, you're going to read it to us verbatim? It's 75 pages long.
The purpose of the program is to support community-based overdose prevention programs. Syringe services, okay. Syringe services, that's still not crack pipes, and that's not $30 million motherfucking dollars. And other harm reduction services. Funding will be used to enhance overdose and other types of prevention activities to help control the spread of infectious diseases. It's a good thing because we're in a pandemic.
That's right.
And the consequences of diseases for individuals with or at risk of developing substance abuse use disorders. Support distribution of FDA-approved overdose reversal medication.
Yep. Okay.
Individuals at risk of overdose, build connections for individuals at risk for or with SUD, for overdose education, counseling, and health education. Refer individuals to treatment for infectious diseases such as HIV, sexually transmitted infections, and viral hepatitis. And encourage such individuals to take steps to reduce the negative personal and public health impacts of substance use or misuse. Where did you see crack at? There are 25 grants over the course of 3 years, up to $400,000. There is up to $30 million in funding for the harm reduction program.
You didn't read the rest of it
then.
then.
It's not crack pipes, not $30 million. So here's the thing, y'all. If you can't fact check, at least sanity check.
You didn't fact check it. You didn't read the rest. You didn't go into the part where. Okay. Well, there you go. There you go. She read the first paragraph and she didn't read into, what was in those things, which is namely there's crack pipes in there. There's no way around it, but there's also heroin needles in there. I mean, that's what's getting to me is I'm mad that they didn't mention the heroin needles. Do her comments have disabilities? I don't know. What do you think? I mean, 1,300 views, comments turned off, no subscriber count. AstroTurf. That's her highest viewed video recently. Let's see what else she's got going here. Yeah, by a long shot. That's her highest viewed videos. And nothing. Whew. Let's see if she has her comments turned off on all of her stuff. Nope. Just that video. Just that video. Okay. Maybe sorry, I shouldn't say just that video, but that video is turned off. The previous video, it's still on. So I guess, all right. Okay. Back to what we were doing here. I did not, so he says, thoughts on government. This is Scarlock's post. I stopped in the middle of, or his super chat. I stopped in the middle of it. Thoughts on government issued crack pipes for racial inequality by the Biden administration. Also, should they include a syringe, cooking spoon, and lighter, or is that too Anglocentric? Nope, they do. They do include that. Oh, you left a comment on there earlier? Oh, okay. She must have recently disabled them. No, that's in there too. They've got the syringes at least. Idaho Plumbers says, hi, Nick. I keep missing your live streams because of work. Lol. Keep up the work, brother. Hey, thank you. Will do. Thanks for being here today. Let's see. What do we got here? Scarlock says, vitamin D censorship is low tier. I knew about vitamin D over a year ago. So did my dad. Now read about nicotine's effect on COVID. It's a crying shame. Welcome to Paralegal Status. Steve C says, God, I love the night streams. I'm glad you do. Connor O'Brien says, when I was 7, I got struck by lightnings. All my hairs fell out, plus my butthole fused closed. Please send help. How old are you now? I figured with a fused together butthole, you probably can't be that old. I mean, I could be wrong on that. Carathan says, maybe you need to try grass-fed meats. Bison are purely pastured animals. I typically buy grass-fed beef when I can. The chicken's the worst. Chicken is the absolute worst. It's the skin makes me want to die, and then the intramuscular fat is there too. But it's not just meat though, right? It's not just meat. It's also onion. Today I was torturing myself. I got an onion and I was just smelling it as hard as I could. It's so horrible. But yeah, I reached out to my doctor to see if they'll do anything. Spoiler alert, they're not gonna. I don't think they've responded to me yet. I haven't looked, but I already know the answer. Attorney IRL, welcome to Paralegal Status. Oh, you thought you were an attorney. Well, now you're a paralegal. But that's what you get. Squizgar says, I got tired of my 0.5 inches of peanut butter crushing the bread, so I started pre-spreading it on cling film and applying it to the bread in a sheet of sorts. Then the jelly goes on the other slice. You put a 1/2 inch of peanut butter? That's a lot. Crispy Bacon says, within hours, Finland and New Zealand planned convoys. 2 Canadian territories told Trudeau to get wrecked. New York and California lifted indoor mask mandates, and commie Dr. Wen told CNN the science changed. Just a coincidence, I assure you. Really? So New York and California lifted their mask mandates? That's crazy. Yeah. So I was talking to a guy yesterday, online, guy from Sweden, and he was telling me about the, this is not related to that, about the Russia-Ukraine stuff, which is also wild. And he was saying how, it might have to conserve power and not be online as much soon and all that stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, what's up? And he's like, yeah, the energy prices are going to go way up. And I was like, well, that would suck if that happened. And he said, it already has happened. It already has happened to some people. Apparently, there's some European countries where the price of electricity has gone up 10 times. Is that true? Can anyone confirm? Are there any rich Europeans in the chat who can still afford electricity? I was thinking about here in Denmark, it's doubled. France and Germany are running out of gas. Gas is very non-elastic. Confirmed. Steadily rising. Holy shit. Heating is 3 to 6 times. Oh my gosh. What are they going to do about that? About 54% in UK in some cases. You know what I hope they do? I hope they start implementing, some real strategies like, I don't know. I know France has some nuclear plants, don't they? Or did they start shutting those down? Did they shut down the nuke plants in France? Your electric bill about doubled in Sweden. I tell you what, if my electric bill went 10x, that would be really tough. That would be really tough. France is still nuclear? Okay. I think we need to really destigmatize nuclear and work on it more. Get more of that out there. I think, for the energy side, it only helps with electric heating. Electric heating is really inefficient. Oh, I know. We can just burn government handout documents, right? Like the government leaflets or whatever. Just burn those for fuel. That'd be fine. Probably keep everybody warm. Patrick Allen says, sent Twitter message for link that is hilarious because of the spin. Is this, what Twitter message is this? Oh, I saw Vaush is fighting with Destiny. Oh, okay. You sent me the Snopes one. Got it. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Did you guys see Vaush and Destiny are fighting over who's the bigger sex abuser or sex offender or something? Good job, guys. Keep it up. Tall Skinny Geek says, don't worry, the crack pipe distribution will also prioritize LGBTQ recipients. Look, it's so good. It's so good. Ryan McCoy says, if you want more sweet versus creamy, use warmed or thinned honey generously on the middle slice of bread. I prefer potato. Adds a bit of crunch if the honey has a second to set crystallize. I'm not the biggest fan of honey myself. Not the biggest fan. It's not that I don't like it. It's just that, I like other things. Tyler Reeves says, hi, Nick. Hope you're doing well. I am. I'm doing well. How are you doing, Tyler? BN says, the crack pipe article disappeared from that site after you started reading it. Page not found. Really? What? Where did I have that? I closed it. That's pretty funny. All right. Debbie O says, please help me understand why my tax dollars should go to making illicit drugs use safer. I'm not up to speed on CRT in this way, apparently. Oh, Debbie, it's very hateful of you. What you should do is recognize that everyone else is entitled to your money for what they want to do with it. And you, bigot, don't get to say anything about it. So, one day you'll learn. One day you'll learn about that, about how your bigotry has affected other communities. But until then, try getting educated. All right, Debbie, because I'm really sick of your bigotry around here. And I've seen it. Look, I've seen it for a long time now. It needs to stop. We need to put the crack pipes as far into the communities of color as we can, because Joe Biden says so. And he is right, and he is good. He and his son are a bit of an expert on crack pipes. Okay, thank you. Sometimes the YouTube comments get me really worked up. Sometimes when the hatred is here, I can't believe it. I try and maintain a clean channel. That's why Shin Chan, my beautiful LGBTQ positive plus TIAA CREF or whatever new moderator is there to keep things better and less racial. But Debbie, she sent another one. See, you missed number 6, the Harm Reduction Advisory Council. That's a critical piece of the program, no doubt. Oh my God, Debbie. You keep saying these horrible things. Oh, God. Scrick says, here's $50 for you and your nose. Do you think I should get a third fish tank? I don't know. If you should get a third fish tank, unless you're going to fill that fish tank with syringes and crack pipes and take it to an underserved community. If you're going to do that, then it's an if-then statement. Then yes, get a third fish tank. If you're not going to do that, well, you probably shouldn't buy any fish tanks. What you should probably buy is a ticket to prison. Think about it. Okay, next. We have Zurindu. Says, I've been documenting the New Zealand convoy mandate protests independently, and unfortunately, it's a bit of a shit show here. There's petty infighting between the Destiny Church, seen as mostly a cult down here, and other groups. New Zealanders are too damn compliant. Yes. Well, we've seen, I mean, look, I'm sorry. New Zealanders have been too compliant ever since Christchurch. When the government wanted to shut down every discussion of Christchurch or the video, shut it down, cancel it out. And people spoke up about it. New Zealanders ran to say how much they hated people talking about it. Look, you have to acknowledge the ugliness that happened, and you have to preserve it. Otherwise, the government won't let you see what's going on in your own country. That's what they tried to do, and the New Zealanders supported it. They support, and I know you guys probably didn't, right? I know the people here aren't those people, but New Zealanders were supporting it. I got yelled at. About that because I had null on, and Kiwi Farms had it archived, and oh my God, most hateful thing on the planet. Razor 39T says, breaking, Joe Biden has confirmed that Hunter Biden has been nominated to lead the crack pipe purchase and distribution initiative. His experience in the field sets him apart, POTUS was quoted as saying. Mr. Bentham says, Nick is not here to educate you, Debbie. Do better. I do not exist to serve your undereducated eyes. Oh my gosh. Oh man. Okay. So we should probably do this Crumbley preliminary hearing, but I kind of want to talk about the vitamin D thing real quick. Just a final thing. Let me do this. All right. What's the trusted source on this? There's Business Insider. There's WebMD. Let's go with WebMD. I don't know. They sound like experts. Hold on just a moment. Study. Oh, here. Vitamin D deficiency linked to severe COVID. There it is. Hey, look at that. People with a vitamin D deficiency are more likely to have a severe or critical case of COVID-19, according to a new study published in the journal PLOS1. Study is based on data from Israel's first 2 coronavirus waves before vaccines were widely available. Scientists stress that vitamin supplements aren't a substitute, but that they can help immunity levels. We found it remarkable and striking to see the difference in the chances of becoming a severe patient when you are lacking in vitamin D compared to when you're not. You know what's interesting? Like this is dangerous to say, and I look, this isn't about vaccines. This isn't about medical advice or anything like that. But if you can eliminate the severity of COVID, you've eliminated the danger of COVID. Right? Like that's the whole thing. The whole thing with COVID is there's this variability between cases where some people go, oh man, my nose is stuffy, and other people die. And a whole lot of people died, right? It's not like, look, I'm not going to get into the disparities over the statistics. We can take it at face value here that some large number of people did die. And when they died, they had COVID. All right. So some of those are going to come from COVID, or some of those things where, they might have otherwise lived, but, COVID pushed them over the edge or whatever it is. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I don't care. But there's some problems that happened. But the death is the problem. The dying is the problem. That's the danger of COVID. I don't know if anybody, like, COVID isn't standing at the gates to overthrow the government. COVID isn't, going to shut down a bank with a bank run. COVID isn't going to steal your car or your purse. COVID will just kill you, right? And so the question is, if you can stop the killing, doesn't that solve pretty much the whole problem? Now, I know this isn't a total solution, right? You can't just a bunch of vitamin D pills and live. That's not how it works. But if vitamin D were to be reducing the severity of COVID for people, if those supplements were reducing this, why, when people early on were suggesting to take vitamin D, was that shit censored? Why? What we're seeing, here we go, back to WebMD. What we're seeing when vitamin D helps people with COVID infections is a result of its effectiveness in bolstering the immune system to deal with viral pathogens that attack the respiratory system, he said, is equally relevant for Omicron as it was for previous variants. It's like, again, oh my God, can they spread the news? Patients with a vitamin D deficiency were 14 times more likely to have a severe or critical case. What's more, the mortality rate for those with insufficient vitamin D levels was 25.6% compared with 2.3% among those with adequate levels. I mean, it's just going from 1 in 50 to 1 in 4. I mean, just that though, just 1 in 50 to 1 in 4. Oh my God. Differences still applied after researchers controlled for age, gender, and history of chronic diseases. Health officials in several countries have recommended vitamin D supplements during the pandemic, even while data was sparse, the Times of Israel reported. Not mine, not my health official, not my health agency, not my doctor, not my care network that my doctor is bound to speak only the truth of the care network. None of that shit. By the way, all at the request of the federal government. before anybody criticizes America's private healthcare system and talks about how the government healthcare system would be better. No, they're operating at the behest of the government. We don't have a real private healthcare system anymore. That's gone. It's been gone for a while, but it's gone. Private healthcare in America is a myth. So there you go. That's, I just wanted to touch on this because it's amazing because I saw it again sometime over a year ago. I saw what was going, or I had gotten the recommendation of vitamin D. So it was something I started taking when I got LaCouf. I started taking it right away. I was like, oh, okay, well, if this is supposed to help, then I want to, do that. I think I started taking it a little bit before, but yeah. And I'm not telling you what to do though. Go check with your doctor. Wouldn't want YouTube to be the source of potential help for people. Dr. Z says, Recato Law, there were studies showing these in mid-2020, but the findings were suppressed and hidden. Sad part is that most African Americans and Hispanics have some of the lowest vitamin D. Well, there you go. That's maybe in the U.S., although Africa proper has been doing really well with COVID from last I checked, right? Isn't that one of the things that they can't figure out? Why actual Africa is doing just fine with they have some of the lowest mortality rates over there. Isn't that weird? All right, here we go. What do we got? Okay, we got this Crumbley preliminary hearing. So all right. Where was the one I was looking at earlier? This guy. All right. So let's do this. Okay. And does it work? Okay. Right. Here we go. We're going to start watching this this thing for a little bit. This is let's go to let's get to where this guy's actually on the fucking stand. What is he doing here? What is this move? Okay. So he must. All right, here we go. Okay, so here are the Crumbleys, by the way. Ethan's parents. These are their lawyers. They're separated. The parents are not allowed to communicate with each other during the hearing. At some point in the hearing, Lady Crumbley here, she asked if she could have her hands uncuffed so she could write notes to her lawyer. And the judge said, no, fuck you. That was the exact quote that the judge had. She said, no, fuck you. So they're not allowed to talk. They're handcuffed to the chair. They're very dangerous people. See, you got to understand that, Ethan Crumbley's parents are the ones who shot a bunch of children. Look, I mean, because are we serious here? Like, look, I get it that this is a serious crime they're charged with. I don't agree with the charges. They may be bad people. I don't know them. I don't care about them. If they went to prison tomorrow, it doesn't affect me in any real tangible way. But I have a big problem with the prosecution of parents for something someone else did. That's just at my core. I have an issue with that. And so here we have this trial of these people, and look at, I mean, they're cuffed in like they're murderers, like they're dangerous people. They're charged. They're accused of not taking their son's text messages seriously. At the end of the day, that's the basics of the accusation. You didn't take your son's text messages very serious, did you? handcuffed to the fucking chair. To me, that's a little bit much. All right. Scarlock. Oh, it says message retracted. What did you say? What did you say? I know I saw what you said. I wish I remembered it. Why did it get retracted? Shit. Scarlock, if you need to tag me or something. Oh, he sent another super chat. South Africa, average age is 40. It's a nation of children. No old people because of AIDS. That's why their COVID stats are great. They have no old people who are vulnerable. Could be. I was thinking that might be the case. Well, the other thing I was thinking is, there could be a lot of vitamin D just naturally produced by a lot of people who spend a lot more time outside, right? You have in a lot of Africa, you have a more temperate climate, even to tropical climate than you might in some parts of the US and stuff like that. I have maybe a different culture and society. People spend a little more time outside. Not as overweight, correct? The US has a huge fucking fat problem. We're going to talk about half of the United States fat problem tonight when we get to that podcast. A full half of the weight of the country into 2 giant women. Okay, here we go. There's also common use of a forbidden pill for the common issues they have that continent. No, we're not talking about that. We're not going to discuss that. We've controlled for that variable, you fucker. Cannot believe you would talk about that. You're not allowed to talk about that. You're not allowed. You cannot. It is not approved by government, comrade. Okay, look. Okay, Susan, come to your house. She'll grab broomstick, shove it right in anus. You'll be fine. It's okay. A little splintery, but she might lubricate. She might not lubricate. Maybe a little spit job if you're okay. Touchdown. On paper, unbreaded. Touchdown. On the paper, unbreaded. I'll tell you about unbreaded. I don't stand in lines. Okay, here we go. Here comes the judge crew. Come on. Can we get to the actual testimony? I thought it started earlier. The remix. We were at exhibit 30. But this is only part of it? Fucking hell. Okay, I got to take this down. I thought I was watching this one. I must have been watching a different one. I wasn't actually watching. I was listening earlier to preview this. Hold on. Let me get to the right one. Because this is coming back in the middle. Because again, Law and Crime, they are just really shitty at how they do their edits. Okay, so yeah, this testimony is a whole fucking lot longer than I thought it would be. I don't know if we want to do this. Okay, I'm going to skip his qualifications, and we'll start here. This is okay. So we'll do this way. I'm not gonna. I was on this stream earlier, and his qualifications take 15 minutes. This guy is a forensic. He's a forensic, electronics analyst he's a detective, and what he does, he looks at computers and phones and stuff like that. They've retrieved text messages between Ethan Crumbley and his mom and some other stuff, and the mom and other people. That's what he's here to talk about. They qualified him. It's actually very good qualification of an expert witness. They set him up really well. He answers questions really well. He knows what he's talking about. He's actually, I almost want to play it, except it's so fucking long. He answers questions about what programs he uses, and he seems to know what they are. So this is nice. There's no jury here, by the way. There's a preliminary hearing. So this is all, I know that's not new. There's more stuff coming, but, this is a pretrial hearing. Okay. So they are doing, it's an evidentiary hearing. So they are taking in witness testimony. They interviewed 3 witnesses today. I think they can do up to 30 at the hearing, which will continue on the 22nd of February. Here we go. Okay, so these the part that they're on right now is the text messages between Ethan and his mom. So we're gonna listen to that for a little bit about how they got them, what they say. Okay, this is the objection. This guy said he said the wrong number of pages, so they objected because they thought he was trying to hide the ball, but they clarified he just made a mistake, and so the objection was pointless. Referred to as people's proposed 10. Yes, the sound is low. Let me get that. Let me raise that up. By the way, little shout out to my dude over at the D4 D&D Deep Dive channel. If you like Dungeons and Dragons builds, like if you're super gay like I am for that type of stuff, where you're like, oh yeah, this is interesting. How do these different builds work? This guy's great. His videos are really long. They're nice for a long drive or whatever, because you don't have to watch them. You can listen to them if you need to. He's got a nice, pleasant voice. So if you like D&D stuff, by the way, give this guy a listen. Let's promote some other people. He's got a small channel. He's like a smallish channel. It's growing. Been growing for a while now. He's good. He's good. So since it's in my suggestions. Okay, here we go.
Admitted 10 now. Do you recognize that, sir?
Yes, sir.
And how do you recognize that?
It's an export in a PDF format from a text thread.
I'm going to publish on the screen. Now, at the top.
I know people hate 5th edition, but I like it.
The top right is a green text bubble. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and this is on page 286 that I've identified. And what does it say at the top there?
The sentence?
Well, first of all, does it identify owner?
It doesn't identify the owner. It says who it's to.
Okay, but this was taken off of Jennifer Crumbley's phone. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
All right, and who does it say it's to?
Ethan.
Okay, is that the phone number provided for Ethan Crumbley?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this message was sent to Ethan Crumbley from Jennifer Crumbley, according to your analysis.
Correct.
All right.
Turn it down just a hair.
Seriously, question mark, question mark. Looking up bullets in school, question mark, question mark.
And what time?
Okay, so what I didn't play for you is they played the audio, the voicemail that the school left on the mom's phone when Ethan Crumbley got caught looking up bullets in school, right? Which, by the way, is not illegal. Is not illegal, and they did not. Nobody thought that Ethan Crumbley should be in trouble. The school said it's fine. He was great. We just communicated that maybe you look up bullets at home. If you look up bullets at home, that's perfectly normal. You look it up at school, people get a little concerned. So the lady on the phone from the school, who, by the way, I'll be surprised if she's not drinking herself silly after what happened. Speaking of, time for me to start doing that. I would be surprised, since that lady basically said, I mean, he's looking at bullets, but who cares, right? She told everybody it was fine, or, she told the parents it was fine, not to worry about it. And then, it's like a couple days later, he comes in, blam, 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 and kills a bunch of kids. And, well, I mean, it's not her fault that happened, but she's got to fucking feel like it, right? She's got to feel like that's her fault. I would hate to be her, man. That's tough. You tell parents, you don't need to worry about it. We saw this thing. It's not a big deal. And there's no way she could have known. I'm not blaming her in any way. I'm not blaming the parents. Only person who's guilty of shooting a bunch of kids is Ethan Crumbley, right? Because he went and shot a bunch of kids. That's what makes someone guilty of shooting kids, is actually doing it. merely being attached to someone through family. And you're going to see from one of the reasons I wanted to talk about these text messages is because this is it's normal conversation. It's not even fucking weird. But when you listen to the headlines, chilling text messages between Ethan and his mother emerge at pretrial hearing. And you're like, these aren't fucking chilling. This is just normal talk between a parent and a kid. So yeah, that's one of the reasons I wanted to bring this up. But anyway, so a lady called the mom, left the voicemail that said, hey, we caught Ethan looking at bullets today, which is not a big problem. A teacher was just concerned about it. We had to talk with him. Everything's good. Everything's fine. He's okay. And then this is the, she then texts her son, says, really? Looking at bullets in school, huh? Okay. And you can hear the tone of these texts, but that's what I wanted to get in here today.
And date was that sent?
That's on the 29th of November, 2021 at 11:53 a.m.
Okay. And what was the response?
He responded almost immediately after by saying, what?
Okay. Was there a second and third response?
Yep. He responded saying, oh yeah, I already went to the office for that.
And then this is page 287, the top. This is the blue text bubble. What does this say?
It was in first hour. All I did was look up a certain caliber at the end of class because I was curious.
And what time is that sent?
That's at 11:54.
Okay. Next.
He was curious what caliber would better kill his classmates.
Text, please.
He's saying it was on my phone. Completely harmless. Teachers just have no privacy.
Correct.
And the first text from Ethan Crumbley to Jennifer Crumbley on the following page.
They said I'm all good. I understand why they talked to me, and they said that that is am good.
Okay, and you're reading this exactly how it's
exactly.
Am good.
In the follow-up text?
This is nothing I should get in trouble about.
Okay, what time is that sent?
That was at 11:55.
Also on November the 29th of 2021?
Yes, sir.
All right. And was there a response there from Jennifer Crumbley?
Yes.
What is that?
She responded with, you're not. They left me a voicemail. And then there's emojis after it with hand over face emoji.
And what time and date was that?
At 12:13 and 11:29.
Sir, what does this?
Yeah, they said he's Vapid says they. Oh wait, no. Jay Hess says they said I'm good. They did. They said he's good. Said not to worry. You're not in trouble. Because shockingly, a school can't be in trouble for looking at bullets in school. I mean, you can be in trouble for using your phone at an inappropriate time or something like that, but you're not like in extra trouble because you looked at bullets. Lots of kids look at bullets in school and don't subsequently shoot their classmates. That's the odd man out thing that Ethan Crumbley did here from normal activity, was that he then went to the school and murdered people. But yes, the school told him he's good. That's why this is such a fucking, what the fuck? I got to get back to the spot. That's why this is such a, damn it.
Question mark.
And what time and date was that sent?
Question mark.
Crumbley?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this message was sent to Ethan Crumbley from
Question mark by saying, hey, curious.
And what time is that sent?
That's at have no privacy.
From Ethan Crumbley to Jennifer Crumbley on the following page.
All right. Sorry about that. I pressed the wrong fucking button and it skipped ahead. Okay, here we go.
They said I'm all good. I understand why they talked to me, and they said that that is am good.
Okay, and you're reading this exactly how it's
exactly
on this page. Okay.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, they can't.
In the follow-up text,
they can't.
This is nothing I should get
punish you
about.
for the content of that what you're looking at.
That was at 11:55.
Specifically against a policy.
Yes, sir.
All right. And was there a response there from Jennifer Crumbley?
Yes.
What is that?
She responded with, "You're not." They left me a voicemail, And then there's emojis after it with hand over face emoji.
And what time and date was that?
At 12:13 and 11:29.
Shadow Band Warrior, I won't stop pushing
this text here, the green bubble sent from Jennifer Crumbley to Ethan Crumbley, say?
On the next page?
Yes, sir.
It says, did you at least show them a pic of your new gun?
And what?
Notice what's happening here. It says mom sends, so mom's like, here's that he's doing this. He's like, I shouldn't get in trouble for this. She's like, you're not getting trouble in this, blah, blah, blah. And then she says to him, did you at least show him the picture of your new gun? She's fucking kidding. She's kidding. Of course she's kidding here. Right? Like you can, this is playful banter between a mom and a son. This bothers me. Because again, this kid's obviously a fucking monster. You don't walk in and just shoot a bunch of people and not be a monster of some sort. But I don't know that the parents are monsters, and certainly not from these text messages. So question mark says, again, stop collectively funding your own tyranny. Go tax exempt, do not file. Well, guys, I would humbly suggest that you not follow the tax advice of question mark unless you are prepared to encounter the IRS up close and in real time. Crusadist Viewing says, your desire to be sucked and blown is a bias that we cannot overlook nor underestimate. Even if crack is good once in a while, he is a spook. What the fuck is that?
What time did she write that?
At 12:14 p.m.
On November 29th as well?
Yes, sir.
And what was his response?
No, I didn't show them the pic, my God.
Don't worry, Uncivil. We're going to get there in a minute.
I only told them I went to the range with you on Saturday. It was a harmless act.
Okay. Now we're on page 290, the first text from Ethan Crumbley to Jennifer Crumbley.
I had this bullet cartridge in my room that I didn't, what kind of bullet it was. And it said it was a 22. So at the end of first hour, I just looked up different types of 22 bullets. And I guess the teachers can't get their eyes off my screen, SMH.
What does SMH mean?
Generally means shake my head.
Okay.
These bitches can't keep their eyes off my screen. They can't keep their eyes off this. Matthew Weber says, you like 5e? I like 5e too. For casuals, are you a casual, Nick? Are you a breaded D&D player? It's cool. I'm a tryhard, but 5e is woke. It was cool until that happened. Open up the world to for new players. Look, I don't like the woke aspects of it. Like, I like the races having their own, their set stat bonuses. I like I don't like the variant, or the alternative lineage shit, like, and stuff like that. As far as from mechanics, if it were my table, I would say no. The racial mechanics are what we're doing, and no fucking wheelchair characters either. If you're a wheelchair character, I will have a monster grab your wheelchair and throw you off a fucking cliff. Get dead, cripples. No, this is, I don't like any of that shit, but you don't have to do it. What I like I just like the class mechanics of D&D. I mean, there's certainly other good RPG platforms out there and stuff like that, but I just like the Forgotten Realms settings. I like the class mechanics. I like the monsters, the lore. I like all that stuff. I've liked it for, fucking 30 years now. It's hard to not like it in the same way. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't like the fucking stuff. I think it was already in the game, by the way. Like, if you wanted to have a really fucking smart giant or something who was shrimpy, I guess you could do that. You could just talk with your DM about why it would work. I don't know why you'd want to, but you could, but I'm not with that. Like, I don't think we should have a bunch of smart orcs running around. Everybody knows orcs have an average IQ of 85. I think it is. They have an average IQ of 85 as orcs. but they've got excellent lock picking skills. I don't know how that translates. It just does. It just does. We need to get more crack pipes into orc communities. I think, is that how that works? Is that what we're supposed to say? Is that how D&D is now? Because I've heard that that's what D&D is now. Deathwish says R.A. Salvatore Forgotten Realms is best. And Ed Greenwood, right? You got to love Ed Greenwood, considering he's the guy who actually pretty much wrote the Forgotten Realms. I need to reach back out to him. I need to get him on a show, not a legal show, just a fun show to talk about fucking making stuff. Okay, here we go.
And what was Jennifer Crumbley's response to that?
LOL, I'm not mad. You have to learn not to get caught.
Okay. Are there periods in between some of these words?
They have made a whole lot. They made a whole lot of fuss over that you have to learn not to get caught thing. But that, again, that's a mom telling her kid, yeah, don't get caught looking at your cell phone in class, you dope. I mean, you have to learn not to get caught. This is her telling him how to hide from the authorities when he murders children.
Yes, in between I'm not in the beginning of the sentence, and then in between the 3 words of not get caught.
Okay. And what time did she write, you have to learn not to get caught?
That was at 12:31.
On November the 29th?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And his response to that?
IKLOL.
Means I know.
And was there a
Lol.
follow-up response?
He had appears to be laughing emojis.
And on page 291.
I just didn't want something this little to get me in trouble because, well, I didn't want to get in trouble, LOL.
And did he have another text on that day?
He stated, I want to hear the voicemail when I get home, though.
You know what's crazy about this? It makes me wonder, like, because I think the implication is that the parents, through these text messages and some other stuff, are supposed to know this kid's going to shoot up a school. I really genuinely want to know, not through the lens of a prosecutor or something else, but like with a magic machine where we can see into the mind of someone. Did he know when sending this message that he was going to shoot up a school? And if not, what changed? What changed in those couple days? Like, really? It's fascinating to me.
And the next?
Also, I never tried to hide me looking up the bullet. I just didn't think a teacher would be staring at my phone.
Did she respond to that?
She did. Jennifer responded, okay, I saved it.
Okay. And correct me if I'm wrong, but those are the text messages from November the 29th. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. We'll come back to this exhibit in a little bit. May I approach the witness, Judge?
Yes.
Do you want all of them?
Hang on to the last one. Thank you.
We are listening in live as this
shut up.
Preliminary hearing.
Fucking hell. I don't want to hear it.
Some of you are going to be stepping away for
Why? I don't want their fucking commentary. What the hell is this?
Export that to a PDF.
Yes, sir.
May I approach? This is People's Proposal 11. Sir, what is that I just handed you?
It's a PDF report from UFID Physical Analyzer software.
And what does it say in there?
It is user accounts is the report itself, and it's the username of GenC, JEHNC 78.
The thing's called UFED. This is actually an interesting section.
Okay.
Here we go.
For Instagram.
And so that's how you're able to verify what Jennifer Crumbley's Instagram username was.
Yes, sir.
Okay. People move to admit number 11.
Any objection? No objection. None for Mr. Crumbley. He admitted.
Thank you. I'm just going to publish this, Judge, for the court. All right. So this is the page that I've handed you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So under user account, we talked about user accounts earlier. So under user accounts here, we have a username.
Yes, sir.
And this is where we have JEHNC78. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you. Were you able to determine if James Crumbley had an Instagram account as well?
Yes, sir.
And you
Jabba's soapbox. Come on. I'm not. It wasn't commentary about what's going on. Just this random lady talking about a 2-minute break that isn't actually happening.
recall what his username was?
His was his name, James Crumbley, 54321.
All right. And did you do the same
Oh!
process with the user accounts?
Countdown to murder. Come on.
Crumbley's actual device to verify that?
Yes, sir.
May I approach that?
Yes.
This is people's proposed 12. Sir, what am I handing you?
It's a PDF report from Physical Analyzer software.
Did you obtain that in the same method that you obtained the information for Jennifer Crumbley's Instagram account?
Yes, sir.
Okay. People move to number 12.
No objection. None from Mr. Crumbley.
I'm going to publish this.
Any objection from Jennifer Crumbley? No objection. Thank you. Shall be admitted.
And sir, on the screen here, this appears to be the same type of PDF, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, but this is from James Crumbley, and we know that from this user account information.
Yes, sir.
And he has a username of James Crumbley 54321, which you've identified earlier.
Correct.
Thank you.
They actually have been very good at laying foundation for all this evidence in this hearing.
Now, referring first to the
how do you know this?
Instagram
Where'd you get it?
returns
Where's it
for
from?
Ethan Crumbley.
Who are you?
How many known Instagram accounts did Ethan Crumbley have?
I'm sorry. For
Ethan Crumbley, yes.
3.
Okay, do you recall the names of those?
One was Daddy Vader. The other one was Ethan.Crumbley, period. And then Ethan_Crumbley.
I want to
Daddy
talk just right now
Vader?
about the Ethan.Crumbley accounts. Were pictures in, first of all, did you receive information from Instagram on that account?
Yes, sir.
And did you have the opportunity to review that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Were pictures and posts made on that account?
Yes, sir.
Now, I'm going to show you.
See, this is, again, the foundation.
13.
Did you have opportunity to review it? Yes. Was this on there? Yes. Pictures and posts are on there? Yes. Got established that he knew this stuff was going on. I think they talk about the letter on how they got the preservation request
Yeah, Roshan.
yes.
in just a second.
This is 13, Council.
Or did I miss that already?
Sir, what have I just handed you?
Search warrant return from Instagram.
Okay,
Oh, no, this is
for
what-
the
yeah.
Ethan.Crumbley account.
Yes, sir.
And that exhibit, proposed exhibit, has a number of pages. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And is that the information that you actually received and reviewed from the Ethan.Crumbley account?
Correct. Yes, sir.
Okay. People move to amend.
Any objection on behalf of Jennifer Crumbley?
Your Honor, there's no objection to the photo.
Ms. C, okay, well,
Admit,
if I'm-
but there's some
next time I'm watching it, maybe I will.
that I don't think is relevant. I suppose I can ask the witness about it on cross-examination. It's not.
Well, I can just,
For
just
clarification,
defeat your own objection right there.
According to my documents, exhibit 13 is.
I want to see what's on his Instagram account. I'm only going to go for a few more minutes on this
Yes,
subject. Then I'm going to make you listen to the Fatsos.
How many pages do you know?
17.
16, 17? 17 pages. Do you have all 17 pages?
17 pages.
it is 17 total. Well, the last page is blank.
I do have 17 pages. If I could just ask the prosecutor very quickly.
This is the nice thing about pretrial hearings is this very informal a lot of times, like talking about this stuff openly. They don't have to worry because there's no jury there, so it doesn't matter.
Thank you.
Okay, any objection on behalf of James Crumbley? None for Mr. Crumbley. Okay, exhibit 13 will be admitted.
Thank you. Going to publish.
And just for clarification, this is for just the Ethan.Crumbley account?
Ethan.Crumbley. Yes, Judge, that's it.
Ethan,
Now, are you able to tell when you look at the Instagram
Crumbley.
return what time something is posted, date and time?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this first, on page 1 here, we have an image. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This image appears to be a target with holes in it.
Correct.
All right. I want to make sure I'm looking at the same one. We have
Uh-oh.
a taken date and time. Do you see
Correct.
that as well?
Yes, sir.
What is the taken date and time?
Taken date and time is 11/27/2021 at 19:02 UTC.
And when you see UTC without a minus next to it, what does that mean?
It just, that's the time at Greenwich Mean Time where all time starts. And depending on how far you are away from Greenwich Mean Time, you lose an hour.
Greenwich Mean Time is where all time starts. What a profound statement. All time starts at Greenwich Mean Time. I bet none of you knew that. I bet none of you knew that Greenwich Mean Time is where the origins of time actually began. Matthew Weber says, I agree. We often table rule the new woke draw mechanics and all of that out if we do play 5e. I also stick to 3.5/Pathfinder, just more stuff. Need to get you on a game if we ever break away from the self-employed life pace. Self-employed life pace is fucking real. It's real, brother. I'm with it. I'm with it.
An hour, gain an hour, and currently we're at -5
Okay, so was this picture actually posted at 1900 hours or a different time?
at a different time, sir.
And what time is that?
1402.
Okay, so it'd be 2 o'clock in the afternoon?
Yes, sir. Sorry, yes, sir. 2 p.m.
That's right.
I'm sorry, you said it was posted at 14:02,
Yes, ma'am.
taken at 19:02.
No, ma'am. No, it's taken. It was actually taken, but not the software. Instagram logs all their stuff at UT.
I mean, you guys are talking about D&D being woke, but have you fucking met Pathfinder? It's like, I mean, you're talking about Paizo here. You're like, I mean, don't get me wrong. People can like Pathfinder all day, but if you're talking about, Wizards of the Coast is woke, blah blah blah. I mean, Pathfinder. Paizo. That's all we gotta say. All we gotta say is Pathfinder is fucking woke out of its mind these days. Holy shit.
UTC time. So the UTC was it's 7:02 or 19:02, but since we're at -5 right now, it's 14:02. Is actually when it was taken and posted.
Thank you.
Like,
Okay, Detective, was there text associated with this photograph as well?
yes, sir.
And I'm not going to ask you about the other comments that have been posted after November the 27th, just the comments posted by the user of the account. So page 2, at the top, we have a text area.
Yes, sir.
And what does that say?
It's took my new SIG out to the range today. Definitely need to get used to the new sites. LOL.
Okay, now that was posted by the user, and we've identified that as Ethan Crumbley. Is that right?
Correct.
I'm going to scroll through to the next photograph. This is on the 3rd page of what I've handed you. Is there this photograph of a firearm? Are we looking at the same page?
Yes, sir.
All right. And does it have a date and time taken?
Yes, sir.
And what date is that?
Taken 11/26/2021 at 18:06 UTC.
Don't you wish these experts had Tourette's?
Okay, so the target was taken on November 27th.
What time was it taken at? It was taken at
November the
fuck
26th.
shit fuck 2:30.
And do we have a text associated with the user of this account?
Yes, sir.
And what is that?
Just got my new beauty today with hard eyes emoji. Sig Sauer 9mm. Ask any questions, I will answer.
Okay.
Okay. Now to the following page, we have another photograph. This is also a firearm.
Yes, sir.
All right. And what is the date and time on this?
Date and time 11/26/2021 at 18:06 UTC or 3:06
Okay.
in Michigan.
And that was about the same time the other photograph was posted as well, right?
Correct.
All right. And we have the text box with the user, and it's the same text. Just got my new beauty today with the heart eyes emoji.
Correct.
On the following page, page 5 here. What are we looking at?
Picture of someone holding a handgun pointing towards the floor.
And this was do we have a date and time when this was taken and posted?
Yes, sir.
And what is that?
11/26/2021 at 18:06 UTC or 3:06 in Michigan.
Okay. And again, the same text. Just got my new beauty today with the heart eyes emoji.
Correct.
Okay. So when we have the same date and time with multiple photographs like we have here, is it fair to assume that it's a one Instagram post with multiple photographs?
Yes, sir.
You have a chance to review some of the other photographs found on this account.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to scroll briefly through these. This is page 6. Page 7. Have you found that one as well?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, where can you?
Look at that fucking picture.
Do want to say thanks again to all of our viewers
Oh,
watching
fucking
here
hell.
with
No,
us. You
shut
can
up.
follow along these top stories and stories we've been staying on top of here for you. On the item, we are going to have talking about some Crumblies.
Why are they
Wait,
talking
stop.
over the fucking
Page 9.
About nothing. They're not.
10. 11.
Fucking memes.
12. 13. 14.
What are these memes?
15. And the last one is all black repairs.
Your Honor, at this point, I stipulate to pages 1 through 5 coming in as users account. It's very clear that 6 through 17 are other usernames throughout the pictures.
Yeah, why are we having
Okay,
those
I
in
can
there?
verify, Judge. And if you don't mind, as far as further response, Judge, our next exhibit is a contact page on both James and Jennifer's devices that show they followed the Ethan.Crumbley account. It's relevant that way as well.
But
Who
as it
cares?
relates to the pages of the photographs, that's being pages 6 through 16. Please clarify with the witness who actually posted those photographs.
Look at this photograph.
Again, Judge, I don't mind clarifying with the detective. However, our position is that, as we will show in just a minute by an offer of proof. Correct.
Go ahead and see. the
Thank you, Judge.
Just by virtue of the information that's provided on the exhibit. Okay. If you can, you can.
Okay. Can we get to the fucking point? I wonder why this thing took 7 hours today. Talk. So the defense here objected, saying none of this shit's from anybody involved, it's from other people.
Yes, ma'am.
If you look at page 6.
Yes, ma'am.
Photograph,
Yes, ma'am.
and if you look at the text underneath the photograph, it has 2 usernames there.
Yes, ma'am.
Could you tell the court what the significance is of those usernames on that particular page?
Those appear to be, they commented on the picture. One says, the text says TF, the other one text says, so true.
Okay, thank you.
Are you able to tell, based upon this?
Warrior
exhibit,
Biatch,
Based on this example,
a
looking
teacher
at
caught him and saw
looking at
him
the
looking at bullets on the
upload
phone
IDs,
physically.
I'm supposed, give me 1 second. So the IP address that was used to upload the photos of the firearm that had text that we know Ethan made is different, but yet a little similar. Without double checking, being able to check the IP addresses of all the uploads, I couldn't tell you right now for certain.
Okay.
But the fact that the one has comments after.
Okay. Similar but a little different IP addresses can be across the fucking planet. I mean, not really, but they can be. They're like similar but a little different IP addresses are a pretty fucking big deal. Like that's not. You might. I mean, you can't. Well, they're similar, but a little bit different. A little bit different is a lot of bit different in IP addresses, unless you're talking about like the last couple. It really depends on where the differences occur, because you have ISP and region identification numbers in the IP address. If you have, you could just have someone on charter in the same state, frankly, but that could be as close as you get. Or someone on, Cox internet, the people on Cox all over the place. A lot of people on Cox in San Francisco. Higher than average. San Francisco has a higher than average on Cox population. Very weird. But no, it's just because like that. How close are they? Where are they different?
Would lead me to believe that was posted by Ethan.
Okay. Now let me ask you this.
Page 6.
Object.
Yes, ma'am.
Object.
Your Honor,
Object.
I mean, we can explore this more in cross-examination, but
Leads me to believe that it was posted by Ethan. Is it his IP address? Like, how did you not lock this down?
these are very different circumstances. This has usernames listed that are not Ethan Crumbley's. So we object again to pages 6 through 17 coming in.
Do you want to go here?
I will not hear him.
Go ahead, and I'll let you know it's my turn.
No, we just want to object to it. Like, what are we doing here? So she's like, Your Honor, these are different usernames, now different IP addresses. We're objecting to these coming in. Do you want to voir dire him? Voir dire him for what? It's not him. It's not his username or IP address. The guy said, well, it leads me to believe it's Ethan's, but he listed the 3 usernames that he got back. What leads you to believe that it's him?
Okay, detective, on pages 1 through 5, where photos are, we're talking about the picture of the target, and then there's a picture of a gun in a case, and a picture of Ethan holding a gun, presumably, and then a picture of Ethan pointing the gun down. Those 5 pages, after each of those pictures, you can see that it says comments user Ethan.Crumbley, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. On page 6.
What's the
there's a
username
different
of
photograph
that one?
Like this ghost face. And in the same spot where it says Ethan.Crumbley, it says user Augusto Ferrari 0227.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Augusto Ferrari is, and there is nothing on here showing Ethan.Crumbley's name, correct?
On page 6, ma'am?
Yes.
Correct.
But on pages 1 through 5, Ethan.Crumbley is on all of those photographs.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the photograph with the white face,
Photograph in white
the
face?
second page that looks
Justin
like it's
Trudeau
kind of a white
cowers
face,
in fear.
page 7 of 17. Again, nowhere on there does that say Ethan.Crumbley.
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
And the following page, where 8 of 17, again, it does not say Ethan.Crumbley anywhere.
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
Same thing on page 9 out of 17.
Judge, if I may, this might help
15.
shorten this a little bit. I'm not offering those photographs to show that Ethan Crumbley took the photograph. They're offered because they're on his Instagram account.
Why though?
So as it relates to those photographs where Ethan Crumbley is not listed, how can you identify whether or not it was on Ethan Crumbley's account?
Because that was the information that was given to us by Instagram from the search warrant that was served on them.
On his account? No, it's posted to his fucking. Do they not know how Instagram works or Facebook or Twitter? Jesus Christ. Do you hear what's happening here? Are you guys with me? Am I fucking crazy? Some people responded with photos to his post and they're trying to attribute those to Ethan Crumbley. That's not him.
That these were the photos and texts that were associated to his Ethan.Crumbley Instagram account.
You know those 2 bitches defending these people have Instagram. Come on, tell me one of them's not just going to stand up and be like, Judge, you know how this fucking works. This guy's supposed to be an expert. What are we talking about here? This is Instagram. Here, I'll pull mine up. When people respond, it has their name, not mine.
You look at the photographs and you look at the documents, is there any reference to his actual account, and if so, where is that?
To the ones starting on page 6, ma'am?
Yes.
There is not. Starting on page 15, it does again appear his name, Ethan.Crumbley. It was the finger, the circle finger like that. And
no,
then
he's a
also
white
for the very last
supremacist.
one on page 16, his name is also associated with that one as well.
Your Honor, on the page 15 and 16 that the detective just pointed out, those are like the first couple pictures. We have no objection to
I
those.
understand. I can see the difference between them. So the question is for pages 6 through 14, other than what Instagram told you, how do you know that that's his account?
Based on these documents, there's no way to know unless we were.
There's a way to
we'd
know.
Probably have to do a couple more search warrants on an IP address or something to see where it came from. But that's usually Instagram when we ask.
We have to do search warrants on a couple IP addresses. No, you idiot. You know those aren't his account because it's not his username or his IP address. What are you talking about?
For a specific account, they give us everything associated with the account that we serve the preservation letter on also.
They give you replies, you dummy.
You object to part 7, pages 7 through 14, being admitted. You have no objection. I'm sorry, page 5.
Page 6.
6 through 17, actually not that. 6 through 14, there's no basis for. Page 15 is fine, page 16 is fine, and pages 1 through 5 are fine.
So you can give it whatever weight the court determines. I've already made my position.
You certainly will have the opportunity to cross-examine him on that, and counsel's correct. I will consider the weight of that evidence as it relates to those pages and the information that we just gleaned from the detective.
Consider the weight. Consider the weight. There is no weight. He didn't post them. There's somebody else. There are other users on Instagram. It's clearly denoted by the usernames being not him.
Thank you, Judge. Detective.
Terrible job by the defense. The defense owns that. The defense owns that fuck up right there. Judge, with respect, this expert has just misrepresented what has happened by saying, I don't know the answer. Instagram sent it to me, lol, I don't know. He's supposed to be the expert. It's very obvious that these are different usernames replying to his original post. They're preserved because when you send a preservation letter for what shows up on his timeline, these show up on his timeline because they're direct responses threaded into a sub-thread with a post that's made. That's how Instagram works. There's an open comment section. We should know this. Everybody knows this. This is how all social media actually functions. But Ethan Crumbley, and more importantly, his parents, a further step removed, cannot be held to account for the responses of other parties who are not in this lawsuit and who are not before this court, may not be in this state or even country, Your Honor. My client cannot be held responsible for this. It's prejudicial. It's confusing to a jury because it's confusing to the expert. No. We cannot have this come in. Can't handle this on cross-examination. This isn't his post. He doesn't reply to these posts. We can use his posts only. Why are we using anyone else here? What the fuck is this? Nicholas Cruiser says, consider the weight of my sack. Hey-o! Oh my God, this is maddening. Just absolutely maddening.
If somebody has, just as a general course, if you have an Instagram account and you post and share photographs, people who follow you can view those. Am I right?
Correct, yes, sir.
Okay. Now, looking on the devices of both James and Jennifer Crumbley, were you able to determine if they followed the Ethan.Crumbley account?
Yes, sir.
All right. May I approach the minutes, Judge?
Terminal Insanity says, leave it in, then shoot it down in court. Shoot it down. Not a good look in this case. No, not, I would say no. And here's why I would say no. Because if you leave it in, then what you do is you see the effect of his post. He's posting about this. And then the juror looks at these people posting a ghost face meme, memes of like crazy reactions. And they can think that he's being encouraged, that he's been set into this, that the parents should have seen this and been concerned. Remember, this is about what the parents should have known about their son and what they should have done rather than what they did do. So, oh man, it's very disturbing. A juror can look at that who doesn't understand what's going on Instagram and draw negative inferences about the parents based on what other people's reactions to their son's Instagram was. That's nonsense to me. That is nonsensical.
14 and people's 15. starting with 14. Sir, what have I just handed you?
PDF exports from UFIT Fiscal Analyzer software.
Okay, so we're looking at an export from Jennifer Crumbley's contacts regarding Instagram. Is that right?
On Exhibit 14?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you obtained that from the device itself, from Jennifer Crumbley's device itself.
Yes, sir.
Okay. People move to omit 14?
Your Honor, I would object. I don't see it all where it says it's from Jennifer's device.
May I?
Detective, could you identify how you were able to determine that this is from Jennifer Crumbley's device?
When I was examining the device, I went to the contacts within what I knew to be her phone, which was compared with her phone number, and I exported it from her contacts.
May I ask a follow-up question, Judge, to the detective? Now, sir, every time you actually hit export and create a PDF, it doesn't actually list the phone's name, user account, phone number. Am I right?
Correct, sir.
Okay, so this is based upon your actual knowledge, your personal knowledge of the phone data extraction.
Correct.
Okay.
Your Honor, I would object. I can't see that from this portion of the exhibit that they've tendered.
But you have his testimony, so you can certainly cross-examine him. He's indicated that he was the one that extracted.
Now, see, this one, the prosecution's right, because this guy is an expert. He can testify to what he did, right? And then she can ask questions about, okay, well, could this have been manipulated? If they wanted to. I don't think it's going to matter at the end on this particular thing. Her contact list from Instagram, who knows how dangerous it is. But, he's testifying that he actually pulled this off. And that's how you enter this stuff in. That is correct. They should have laid foundation a little bit better ahead of time, by the way. Fuck them, because I complimented them on laying foundation earlier. But yeah, this is, and this is the thing with digital evidence, is you do get to talk about how easy it is to manipulate digital evidence, and talk about how it could have been someone else could have messed with it. How do you prove out that this went from her hands straight to your hands, didn't go into anybody else's? You could try and cast a lot of doubt on it in some circumstances.
Extracted that, and he is verifying based upon what he did that this is in fact the documentation from that extraction. You will have the opportunity to cross-examine him on that. For purposes of admissibility, I'm going to allow it.
Thank you,
Your Honor,
Judge.
I would, just for the record, join the objection. And I don't know if we addressed that before, but Mr. Crumbley would be joining any of the objections we raised for Mrs. Crumbley.
I'm going to publish 14, which is in your hand right now. And this is what the PDF looks like when you export that information. Am I right?
Correct, sir?
Okay. Now, you have 15 in front of you, sir?
Yes.
Okay. Tell us what 15 is.
15 is an export from James Crumbley's cell phone of his contacts.
Okay. And that is James Crumbley's Instagram contacts as well?
Correct.
Okay. What does that tell you?
It says has a contact of Ethan Crumbley on Instagram, and he's following.
Okay. You're following Ethan Crumbley. All right. That is 15. People move to him at 15.
Same objection.
Same objection, Your Honor.
Same objection for Dr. Crumbley.
It's the same objection, but Your Honor, it's the same objection.
There's no objection for the reasons previously stated on the record.
Thank you. I'm going to publish this. For
His
the detective to
forehead
verify that what I published is
protrudes
what's in his hand.
out. Normally you don't.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Cro-Magnon.
Now, sir, did you have the opportunity to review Jennifer Crumbley's Instagram returns?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, were there pictures and posts that you were able to obtain from that Instagram return?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to approach with people 16. And approach us. This is people's post 16. There's 4 pages here. Sir, do you recognize what I just handed you?
Yes, sir.
How do you recognize
Hold on.
that?
Let me
It's
put
a
it to
search
my
warrant
head.
return, a printout of the search warrant return from Instagram.
Okay, and that's on the Jennifer Crumbley's identified Instagram account?
Correct.
People move to omit 16.
The objection on behalf of James Crumbley is 16.
No objection to 16 for Jennifer.
No objection, Your Honor.
Yep, we'll be admitted.
Thank you, Judge. I'm going to publish this for you, sir.
It's like Rush Limbaugh and Newt Gingrich had a baby. Have you guys ever noticed how big Newt Gingrich's head is?
Again,
It
we
is
have
fucking
the way
huge.
the Ethan.Crumbley account looked. This account also has posts and text. Am I right?
Looks
Correct.
like
so we
Megamind
have
or whatever.
The
From
first page here, we have a photograph,
Correct.
and I want to make sure we're looking at the same photograph. Where do you?
as we continue to listen in here on.
These are the worst. Fuck this thing. I'm done with it. I'm done with it for now. Okay, I wanted to get a little bit more of that, but it's getting boring. I really hate the little interjected. It's not commentary. It's just like, oh, we're going to be taking a 2-minute break here. Why are you telling me? Why are you doing that? Oh, shit. I want to look at that. I'll have to check into this because this sounds good. Look at this. Oxford suspect's mother too busy having an affair to worry about the son from the prosecutor. Oh, shit. Imagine not only that you're sitting in court because your son shot up a school, right? But you're sitting in court because your wife was too busy fucking someone else to worry about your son shooting up a school. Holy shit. Damn. I'll look into that testimony. We might have to watch that later. Okay. I think it's time. Chat. You've brought us to this. I am going to now play for you some audio. It's going to be very important audio. We're going to have to do very, very important audio here. Hold on one second. Gotta make sure I got the right thing. Unbreaded. All right. You know the drill. We have death sentences. The most unbreaded segment on the entire internet. No one else is as unbreaded. $458. Ryan, the editor, you're out of here, buddy. We need to have a chat soon. Okay. I was worried that this might be one of those. I was worried this might be one of these. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, this is where it goes. This is the daily read from the manifesto of Matthew Harris. Asians. Shoot all the bikes too. Shoot all the Asian programmers and students and entertainers. Hunt Asians like rats. Hunt all the Asians out. Kill every blink. Hunt the blinks out of colleges. Bomb the auditorium. Bomb the gym. Bomb everything so no one wants to go anywhere ever again. Bomb everything so often and so randomly that nowhere is safe. Binger, kill all the bikes. Binger, kill all the blink mongoloids. Binger, kill all the red mongoloids. Binger, kill all of the bike ottomans. Binger, kill all of the crackers. Binger, kill all of the children of other tribes. Kill all their kids. Kill politicians. Don't elect them anymore. Kill all the famous people. Kill everyone who is not a binger. Kill all the civilians. Kill this civilization. Kill white civilization. Stop sharing earth. Stop sharing life. Detonate every bomb. Plant every knife into a body. Burn every temple. Burn every white church. Shoot every mayor who is Asian. Shoot all Asian politicians. Shoot all the Asian store owners and college students. Shoot all the Asian business owners and lawyers. Shoot all the Asians. Shoot all the bikes too. Shoot all the Asian programmers and students and entertainers. Hunt Asians like rats. Hunt all the Asians out. Kill every blink. Hunt the blinks out of colleges. Bomb the auditorium. Bomb the gym. Bomb everything so no one wants to go anywhere ever again. Bomb everything so often and so randomly that nowhere is safe. Binger, kill all the bikes. Binger, kill all the blink mongoloids. Binger, kill all the red mongoloids. Binger, kill all of the bike ottomans. Binger, kill all of the crackers. Binger, kill all the children of other tribes. Kill all their kids. Kill politicians, don't elect them anymore. Kill all the famous people. Kill everyone who is not a Binger. Kill all the civilians. Kill the civilization. Kill white civilization. Stop sharing earth. Stop sharing life. Detonate every bomb. Plant every knife into a body. Burn every temple. Burn every white church. Shoot every mayor who is Asian. Shoot all Asian politicians. Shoot all the Asian store owners and college students. Shoot all the Asian business owners and lawyers. Shoot all the Asians. Shoot all the bikes too. Shoot all the Asian programmers and students and entertainers. Hunt Asians like rats. Hunt all the Asians out. Kill every blink. Hunt the blinks out of colleges. Bomb the auditorium. Bomb the gym. Bomb everything so no one wants to go anywhere ever again. Bomb everything so often and so randomly that nowhere is safe. Binger, kill all the bikes. Binger, kill all the blink mongoloids. Binger, kill all the red mongoloids. Binger, kill all of the bike ottomans. Binger, kill all of the crackers. Binger, kill all the children of other tribes. Kill all their kids. Kill politicians. Don't elect them anymore. Kill all the famous people. Kill everyone who is not a Binger. Kill all the civilians. Kill the civilization. Kill white civilization. Stop sharing earth. Stop sharing life. Detonate every bomb. Plant every knife into a body. Burn every temple. Burn every white church. Shoot every mayor who is Asian. Shoot all Asian politicians. Shoot all the Asian store owners and college students. Shoot all the Asian business owners and lawyers. Shoot all the... This has been our daily Unbreaded. Whoo, lad. Whoo, whoo, whoo. Wow. Wow. Some of these pages. The good news though is that that's about 1 in 8 pages on the randomizer. Maybe 1 in 7. It's about 1 in 7 pages of the text. By the way, I see you, Death Wish. I am looking at watching Reacher, actually. I already did page 458. Are you sure? Because it looks the exact same as 459 and 460 and 461 and 462 and 463, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way through 515, I think. So yeah, he does that for 120 pages. It's just 120 pages though. Crusadist Viewing says, do electric spooks dream of internet tyranny? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. We need an abridged version. We have it. Are you ready? I have the abridged version. Touchdown. On paper? Unbreaded. Die. There you go. There you go. Okay. Well, now that we've done that, you know what actual time it is. You know what actual time it is. You knew what this was. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. You're going to hate me. But I tell the same thing to my kids. You know, sometimes I have to do things that you don't like. Sometimes you're going to be mad at me, and that's part of my job. My job as a parent. And I will say this with all of the honesty. This hurts me more than it hurts you. Shinshan 256B says, I love it whenever you read Ethan Ralph's love letters to Jim. His hatred for the Asians is very interesting. Unbreaded. Here we go. Let's so real quick background story, very brief. This is from one of the longest sagas on this channel, the saga of Vic Mignogna, the story of Vic Mignogna, an anime voice actor who was Me Too'd by a bunch of people, but primarily the two fat, ugly women from this podcast. If you look at them, you'll understand why the Me Too allegations ring a little hollow. Certainly not hollow as them. They are full of all sorts of disgusting garbage. Years of bad diet and no exercise will do that to people. I should know. But them's the ropes. The funny thing is, I probably have a worse diet and even less exercise, and I'm not anywhere near as fat as them, which makes me very happy. They Me Too'd him. He sued them. He lost his initial lawsuit. His lawsuit is still on appeal. It has been on appeal for a very, very long time. It would have been 9 months on September 22nd. So October, November, December. December 22nd would have been a year. And then now January, and we're into February. So we're going into a year and 2 months waiting on an appeal. Waiting for appeals to come. Hoping they come back for Vic. That would make this really slick. Okay, anyway, I'll stop. But yeah, we're waiting for the appeals to come back to see what happens. Until then, everything's in limbo. And randomly, out of the blue, almost 3 years later, these ladies finally decided to tell their story by making a podcast. And it is horrible. How likely is the appeal to work? Well, you've heard Andrew Branca say it this way. Appeals are for losers. Means you lost. You're trying to get something overturned, and that is difficult. It is very, very difficult to get something overturned on appeal. Statistically, it's very low. However, statistics don't really work because they are case by case. But what I have been telling people consistently from the time that the appeal was filed was expect it to lose. Expect the appeal to lose. That is the most likely outcome by any predictive measure. It's the most likely outcome is that it will not come back positively. And that's just the way it may go. Now, I certainly hope that anything comes back. There's a whole lot of charges on there that any of them could come back. But I think the overall plan would be that it would not be successful, or not the overall plan. The overall expectation should be that it should not be successful, but we'll have to just wait. Now, it's funny because if you listen to these fucking hoes, you'll hear them. I don't know if they say it here, but you'll always hear me portrayed as having said that the appeal was going to be 100% successful. You'll actually have the lie that I presented that the case would be successful in the first place. I said I thought there was everything present to make a successful case. I thought it should work. Everything should be in place. But I also said that defamation is one of the hardest things to do. Anti-slaps are really difficult to overcome. And, there you go. But misrepresentation is the name of the internet game.
The second involved 2 women that weren't even Funimation employees, and their harassments didn't even happen on Funimation property. Like, why does anyone care? The third was when...
It's not that they weren't Funimation employees and that it didn't happen on their property. It's that they didn't say it.
Vic kissed one of his friends, but that was 10,000% consensual. And it only happened like one time anyway.
Yes, one consensual kiss is generally not seen as actually being a problem for anybody on Earth. And again, the consensual kiss, that person didn't make the report. That's another thing that's left out of this little podcast, is that the consensual kiss was reported by Monica as an unconsensual kiss. Monica called it an unconsensual kiss. Person who did the kiss, the person who Vic claims it was consensual, by the way, that person never said anything to anybody about it at all. So misrepresentations and all that.
Who cares?
Sorry. January 21st through 25th, 2019.
You've never heard me read this out loud, have you? Sorry. Okay. So So like then, to make matters worse, Tammy was all like, confidential, we swear. But then Jamie, Monica, and Ron still kept tweeting about their opinions anyway. Ron even tweeted that he knew about an investigation, and stating that now makes it seem like he was disclosing confidential information, even though his tweet was after Funimation told Monica and Vic the outcome of the investigation. Still,
he was disclosing confidential information. It was told to keep confidential. He represented that, again, the fucking dumbness of these people. He represented, this is important because remember, it's the totality of the circumstances is how you determine whether a statement is meant to be taken as fact or opinion for the purposes of defamation. So when someone represents that there was an investigation and that they have insider information as to the truth of this investigation, and they happen to be dating the person who was a part of the investigation, and they represent all that, and then they make a statement, people are more likely to take that statement as factual than opinion. So when you say there was an investigation, it involved dozens of people. My fucking fiance was on the investigation and we know the outcome. And the outcome is he's a predator. He assaulted my friends. There was an investigation. That's a signal. Those are all signals for facts. Those are signals that this is factual statements being made, not opinions. The whole point that Ron Toye said that stuff, who, by the way, they're ignoring that he's a party to the lawsuit and they're therefore subject to the complaint. The fact that he was doing that is what made it defamatory. His intent was to give credibility to his statements on Twitter. That's why he would say, I know about the investigation. I'm banging one of the Well, he never actually claimed sex. I'm dating one of the investigative committee peoples.
well, so rude.
January 26th, 2019.
Ron tweeted that Vic was a predator, heretofore referred to as a P word. He tweeted that so much you'd think he believed it. Shortly after Ron's tweet and or the day before itself, we're not sure, the Ranger Strap Convention canceled Vic's appearance with 2 L's. Sorry, now that I know what that means, it's killing me.
January 29th, 2019.
Monica reading the dates is one of those things. So when you're a professional broadcaster like me, right? And you do this all day, every day. You do this all the time. You learn certain things about the industry. What Monica's doing right now, she's doing this broadcaster voice to read the dates, like as if it's some NPR podcast, January 26th, 2019 or whatever, right? She's doing that. And it was funny to her the first time she did it. But the problem with it is, and I'm typically honest about when this happens, you do a bit and it's like, this bit's going to be funny. And then it isn't. And like the third time you do it, you're like, oh. And the fourth time you do it, you're like, oh, fuck. I got to stop doing this. This isn't funny anymore. That's what's going on with the date reading bit. My funny broadcaster voice was funny the first time. And then it's not actually funny ever again. But she's going to stick with it. Despite the fact this is an edited podcast. It's not live. They could just fix it. They could cut that out. She could stop doing it. They could pause and say, you know what? That sounds really retarded. But they can't.
19.
Terry whatever and some other guy told Vic that he was fired because of their so-called investigation.
January 30th, 2019.
Both Anime NYC and Anime Milwaukee canceled Vic's appearance, but they did it with only 1 L per canceled. Ron tweeted,
did you hear the fucking horse whinny there? I can't even do it. Super Iron Bob says, these are voice actors. How are they such basic beached whales? YouTube Coon won't let me use female dog here at their job. And because if you haven't figured it out, Funimation's not hiring based on merit. Actually, I would suggest that Funimation is even more loveless and hollow than it was prior to this now. that the people at Funimation really don't like their jobs anymore. It's what they do, though. It's what they do, and they're stuck with it. And the fact that they go to work every day and they're a little bit sadder than they were the day before, that's just too fucking bad, isn't it? Great Loner says, please stop. No more of these shamus. PFT shamus.
That he knew of at least 4 assaults. So that could be Monica, the 2 women that weren't even employees of Funimation, and the final woman involved in the investigation. But that is not the point. He tweeted mean things again.
January.
Except they weren't assaults. Again, the critical element here. Accusing someone of an actual crime like assault is per se defamatory. Something Judge Chupp kind of just overlooked, the fact that this is per se defamatory. There's no actual evidence that should have been considered at a TCPA hearing because the evidence gets to be weighted in favor of the plaintiff. That there was any assault ever. Vic actually denied that there was an assault of any kind. And that should have some weight to it because the law says it's supposed to. But in Judge Chupp's court, the law doesn't really matter so much. I guess. I don't know. I'm still pissed off about the whole thing because it wasn't the hearing was not done correctly. And Judge Chupp didn't apply the appropriate legal standards. He just didn't. I don't know how else to say it. But it's neither here nor there at this point. But again, going online and saying, I know for a fact that Vic that Vic committed a crime against these people. He commit a crime against these people. And I know the crime was committed against these people. And he said this not once, not twice, but a lot of times.
February 31st, 2019.
Kauai Con canceled Vic's appearance with 2 L's. So that meant he only got to go to Hawaii once this year for free. Not fair.
February 1st, 2019.
Ron was mean tweeting. That's
By the way, every time a convention is canceled, they canceled his appearance. That is evidence of a contract. That is evidence of the existence of a contract that has been canceled. You know, for the people who are still saying there's no evidence, they're laying out this from the complaint. And again, this is their paraphrased version of it. But even in the initial complaint, they're talking about convention appearances that were agreed to show up for performance. And yet they were canceled, which would imply that there was a contract. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to cancel people that I don't have an agreement with.
It's hard to say. Mean tweeting. Ron was mean tweeting again, talking about those 4 mysterious women that no one knows about at all from the investigation. Kamehameha Dallas canceled Vic's appearance with 2 L's, but they came around and re-invited him after we bullied them alive.
Yep. It's amazing what happens when you can actually threaten a lawsuit against someone for canceling someone else. Shockingly, it sometimes will work, especially when you have them dead to fucking rights.
February 2nd, 2019.
Ron tweeted the P word again. This is also the day when he tweeted that he knew about an investigation. It doesn't sound as bad when it's in chronological order like this, though.
Whoopsie. February.
Complaints don't have to be in chronological order.
3rd, 2019.
Ancient CityCon canceled Vic's appearance with 2 L's, and that con has been around forever.
February 4th, 2019.
Ron tweeted the P word again. Denver Comic-Con canceled Vic's appearance with 2 L's.
Does anybody notice what they're establishing? Over and over, these conventions are being canceled in response to tweets.
February 5th, 2019.
Funimation probably told A&M that Vic had been fired because they mentioned on their website that Vic had been recast in this one show. No one really noticed, and the information was available on the cast list at the end of the episode, but how dare they recast an actor? Actors don't get recast. That's not a thing. We're just making up the word recast because we don't even have a word for recast yet.
February 5th and 6th, 2019.
I gotcha.
I mean, never mind.
Florida SuperCon, Raleigh SuperCon, Comic-Con, and Hudson Valley Comic-Con all canceled Vic's appearance with only one L.
February 6th, 2019.
Does anybody realize why you would sue people when literally like every show he'd had over a dozen shows booked? We're about up to a dozen cancellations so far. And remember the predicate act that they're all seeming to forget, that Monica liked and retweeted this thing. And then Monica and Jamie Markey would both make statements. Those are probably coming up. Great Loner says, please stop. No more of these PFT shamus. And Mandy Karavicha says, Nick, what site is this on? Going to tell them you use their cringe voices on your own YouTube show, so maybe they'll send you a cease and desist letter and we'll be spared from you doing this to us. Oh, don't worry. These two fatzos aren't sending me anything. They're going to wait until it's over, and then they might send me something. But if they send me something, it'll be much more than a cease and desist.
Ron tweeted that 100 women accused Vic. We obviously cannot use Twitter as evidence of any sort, so without all the things hundreds of women's and men's have tweeted and posted about on multiple social media outlets, Ron can't support that claim.
He couldn't support the claim. Actually, that's the funny thing. In his deposition, he was given the opportunity to support the claim. People asked over and over and over, where are the 100 women? But Ron didn't say 100 women tweeted about Vic. Ron said 100 women were assaulted by Vic, complained about him, and would come forward. All of those, he said they would come forward. All of them. None of them have, by the way, ever come forward, actually.
Monica also vague tweeted that Vic had done something to her, leaving out any juicy details. It was such
Yes, she did.
a weird response. And then, as if she was defending her friend, Jamie was not very nice to someone who was shaming Monica. She said the word balls and mentioned a dick being in someone's ear. It's hilarious how extreme her words are. We'd even think it was hyperbolic if we knew what that word meant. Now, if
your hyperbole was talking about how much you hated Vic Mignogna, which wasn't hyperbolic. It's amazing that they're going ahead. I mean, they're rewriting the actual past here. It's phenomenal. Great Loner says their voices are too grating for proper spelling. I'll be filing war crime charges at The Hague for subjecting us to these mad cows. We're almost done. Almost done with the segment for the day. I'm not going to go on this forever. I don't want to be here any more than you do. Believe me, I have talked about Vic and his case. I talked about it almost every day for almost a year. I don't really want to talk about Vic's case anymore unless something actually happens. So this is legitimately painful for me.
If you're paying attention, you'll notice that all the convention cancellations occurred prior to this date, but we still think those cancellations are because of what Monica and Jamie said publicly today and on the 8th.
February 8th, 2019.
Jamie tweeted a story about Vic using his hand to hold her hair as if that was a bad thing. And then she claimed she heard Vic, that the Vic that ruled them all, had done the exact same thing to 6 different women that she personally knows. She used the P word too.
The 6 different women that she personally knows, no one had heard any of these stories ever. They all came at the same time, and they came from known liars. Like Jamie Pridemore. Jesse Pridemore. Like Jesse Pridemore. Jesse Pridemore is a woman who has lied about men over and over and over, has successfully destroyed a couple of those men's careers. And this story that she said sounded exactly like Jamie Markey's, even though it wasn't true, though. Jesse Pridemore was also a Klingeron trying to destroy Todd Haberkorn at the time.
Oh, and she doesn't remember every detail, including the words he whispered into his ear while she was being pulled backward by her roots. Nice try.
It's because it doesn't make sense. You have all sorts of, you have every other detail listed. Every other detail listed except for what the something sexual he said into your ear was. But the problem, bitch, is the whole thing was defamatory. It was all a lie. It didn't happen. And you know it didn't happen. It's funny about that.
February 11th, 2019.
Funimation tweeted they wouldn't be working with Vic anymore after that investigation. They tweeted right after that tweet that they wanted to support diversity and be positive. Whatever. And then they said they didn't condone any kind of harassment or threatening behavior being directed at anyone. Some might have thought this was regarding the massive amounts of harassment and abuse Monica, Jamie, and other victims were receiving.
Actually, no one thought that. Everyone thought they were accusing Vic of harassment. Just read the fucking thread. It's still there. You can still read it. You can still today go back to February 11th of 2019 or whatever on Funimation's webpage, and you can read exactly what people thought. They thought that Funimation was accusing Vic of harassment following an investigation, because that's what it actually says. I mean, it's just what it says. Now, Funimation has since stated that we didn't intend for it to come out that way. But then they also kind of stated that they did. They said they took both positions in court, that they both did want it to come out that way and didn't. I mean, it's just what it says, though. There's only, tons of case law supporting that type of reading of a thing, of an entire publication. But I mean, who's counting?
But no, it was definitely announcing they had determined Vic, the real victim, had been engaged in harassment or threatening behavior. Then Monica, devil that she is, supported Funimation with a tweet. She even said Vic was the legal definition of harassment. But that's impossible. People can't be definitions.
She did say he was the legal definition of harassment, which is kind of like a defamatory statement. I mean, the definition is typically a fact statement. I don't know. Again, I like that they're making light of this because they got a favorable result. They did get a favorable result. But the reality, like when you listen back to this and you think about it, the entirety of his career was destroyed in a matter of weeks by these people and their campaign. And it was an actual campaign. You can look at it. They're talking about it as if it were a campaign. They're talking about it as if it's all true still, right? They still want people to believe this story. That's what they're after.
The typo heard around the anime community.
She claims it's a typo now. She claims it was, here's the legal definition of harassment, which she only claimed in court months later, or in court documents months later. She didn't immediately correct the typo. She left it up there. When people responded to it, she didn't respond to them and say, oh, I meant he's the definition, or here's the definition. Never once, not until it became a self-serving statement. When presented with the Texas defamation mitigation letter, she could have said, you know what? All the other stuff I said was true, but this was actually a typo. I meant here's the legal definition. But it wasn't the typo, was it? It became a typo in court, sure. Really easy to make things different than they were intended later.
I double and triple check everything now, by the way. Okay.
Now I do. Not then, though. Could have corrected it. Never did.
February 13th through 18th, 2019.
Sorry, got excited. Ron tweeted more of his opinions in defense of his fiancée, as if defending your loved one.
They're not opinions, by the way. He doesn't present them as opinions. He presents them as fact.
Is normal. He also tweeted that
defending your loved ones is can be normal, sure. Defending your loved ones usually doesn't involve lying about someone 400 times in a month. But that's the rough amount of tweets that Ron made. 400 tweets about Vic specifically, in addition to several other tweets, that he made. But 400 tweets that could be definitively linked to Vic Mignogna. Just the 400, though.
The investigation has corroborated testimony, which makes sense, but he shouldn't have said that. Then he tweeted other things we're going to mention in detail, but failed to include that these tweets are.
The investigation has corroborated testimony. Again, remember, Ron mentions the investigation. Ron later would go on to say at his deposition that he actually didn't have any knowledge of the actual investigation because it was confidential. And Monica totally didn't tell me, so I actually didn't know. So he admits he was lying about it the entire time. And he was lying about it for the purpose of hurting Vic. I mean, this is what he admitted to. It's what he admitted to.
Are obviously responses to other tweets harassing Ron.
February 19th, 2019.
Monica tweeted a post about being sexually harassed by Vic, and that post was really long. We had to read the whole thing, and it didn't even have pictures. She
didn't tweet about being sexually harassed by Vic. She tweeted about being sexually assaulted by Vic, which is what brings it into the category of defamation per se. Tweeting about sexual harassment would be, he said something that was objectifying to women, blah, 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 blah. No, she tweeted about an alleged sexual assault that never occurred, that was in a room that was described in a way that couldn't have possibly happened, with a man who allegedly saved her, who didn't, according to the man that she said allegedly saved her. Didn't happen. That's the problem with this story. Again.
even said she had to be a part of Funimation's investigation, which we know at this point she had been, but no one else knew that. She could have been lying for all they knew.
February 21st, 2019.
The funny thing is, again, this is really important. I mentioned this yesterday. The sexual assault story that they're talking about that Monica fabricated wasn't part of Funimation's investigation. Because when she was actually participating in the investigation about Vic Mignogna that she initiated and that she gave testimony for on behalf of other people, she didn't mention this story that she told on Twitter. No one's heard this story before. She never told Ron. She never told anyone this story. The first time it ever appears for anyone is on Twitter. And it doesn't appear to Funimation or from Funimation. No one at Funimation had ever heard this story. I'm sorry, but if you're trying to get someone for sexual malpractice or misbehavior or whatever, you'd think the actual assault that you're alleging occurred would be one of the first stories, not the last. And when I say last, I mean not part of the investigation. All will come out later on Twitter when it couldn't be scrutinized, verified, or checked against by anybody because it's just on Twitter.
19.
Ron bombed carpets at Vic on Twitter. This is a carpet bombing joke, and it does not cease to amuse me. So sorry. Do you remember that? Oh, it's so ridiculous. You can find the documents on our website, wewillbeinTouch.com. But for the petition, the original petition, I think is what it's under. He pretended to defend Monica for several days in a row after this. We've decided Ron has to be some sort of secret agent, undercover man employed by Funimation to know all the things he knows.
They said he was. Not only did they say he was, people believed it, which is all on Twitter. Might not be anymore because I think even Ron's account got banned.
The only other person who knew this much about the investigation other than Vic and Funimation was Monica. And why would she tell her fiance anything about treated poorly by another man?
She didn't. That's the best part. She literally fucking didn't. She never told him. That's the funniest thing. She never told Ron. He found out at the deposition. At the deposition is when he found out. She didn't tell him any of this stuff. And that is where we're going to stop for the day. Ron Toye is such a beta cuck that his wife never told him about any of this. That's the best part. He was literally making it up the entire time. Now, I want you to remember something here, guys. I want you to remember this. I have this recording. The next time you motherfuckers mess with me on audio or anything else, tell me to reboot my router, tell me to go lick my modem clean, tell me to cover it in butter and put it in the microwave. The next time you motherfuckers do anything to me, I will ear rape you. Oh yeah, deep in those eardrums. I'll bust those little tiny ear bones wide open. You think I won't fucking do it? You think I won't? I will. I will. But tonight we're going to finish up the super chats. We're going to wrap up the show in just a minute here. Yeah, I don't know how much more of the podcast I'm going to do. It's an infuriating thing. Look, they made it for me to respond to. Of course they did. They'll never admit to that, right? Oh no, we made it to get the truth. Yeah, sure you did. Sure you did, Pumpkin. Truth is, these fat, nasty ladies have been just absolutely beside themselves that some asshole from Minnesota said, wait a minute, none of this made sense, and fucked up their entire plan. And let me tell you, because there's so much this story that I take for granted that people know. All right. So much of the story that I take for granted that people know. Many of you actually have no idea about this other than what's, little snippets you've caught. In the voice acting industry, American anime, there was a list. There was a list going around, and it was called Fixing the Broken Staircase. All right. It was about removing, quote unquote, problematic men from the industry. That's what it was about. And I'm not drawing an inference there. That's what is the stated purpose of the document, was fixing the broken staircase. There's a list of about 50 men that were considered, quote unquote, toxic or problematic. Vic was either number 1 or number 2 on the list by whoever made it. At the time that this happened, they were going after number 3, and then it stopped. And no one else on the list was gone after that. Vic was the test case. It was supposed to work. It worked every other industry. It worked everywhere else. They were able to go down the list of people. But not in anime. Everyone else on that list owes Vic Mignogna a giant thank you. Because all of them still have jobs today because of him standing up and suing. That's the only reason. Well, maybe because of me, kind of helping out with that sort of process. But I didn't actually sue anybody. I didn't have a claim. I mean, I'm not an anime voice actor or anything else. Neither are they, really. But all because of Vic. I mean, Vic's lawsuit, he put it down. It's done. done because of that. And they really hate that I did that. They really hate that I got involved because I got involved, so many more people got to hear the story than otherwise would have. He was supposed to be quiet. He was supposed to just roll over and die and fucking leave the industry, that fucking disgusting man that they wanted out of the way. And it didn't work. Again, all because one guy in Minnesota said, doesn't sound right. Don't buy it. Let's ask some questions. Oh boy, they hate me. They hate me. They think I've directed people to harass them. I have not. They think that I hate them a little bit. I hate what they've done. I hate when anybody does this stuff. Pretty consistent on that. They hate what I did. And if you need any further evidence of that, just any at all, I did an interview with a guy named Eric Rowland. Great guy. He was on the show. We talked about a bunch of stuff. He was a former Funimation voice actor. He was removed from the industry. Part of the reason why was because during the Kyle Rittenhouse streams, he shared one of my streams. He shared one of my streams and said, "Hey, here's some lawyers watching Kyle Rittenhouse." Done from the industry for that. That's how much all of them hate me. And it's okay. It's okay. They don't like the truth. They've never liked the truth. The truth hurts. The truth asks questions about lies. You never had answers for them. Anyway. Okay. RX Joe says, toast to my grandpa who passed away. He was a great man, a Vietnam vet, and taught me how to work hard. He left behind 3 kids, 7 grandkids, and my grandma, who my heart breaks for, as she lost her father in November. They were amazing men. Rest well, Dad Joe. All right. To the grandfather of RX Joe. Calls him a great man and a Vietnam veteran. But more importantly, he was a dad. He left behind 3 kids, 7 grandchildren, building out a legacy. It's amazing to think of what we leave behind. We oftentimes leave behind more people than we are, right? We reproduce and multiply. We go forth and bring others into the world at a higher rate than we leave it. This is a guy who did that. Taught his children, grandchildren, the value of hard work. Left behind a wife who will love and miss him. Those are the hallmarks of a man of character. The people left behind will miss you when you're gone. And certainly no different for Dad Joe. Cheers, brother. Godspeed. Okay. Let's get through chats over on Odyssey. Malik Foxon says that sounds like lockups in response to COVID might be hazardous to some people's health, but I'm not a doctor. Malik says, take it from someone who issues IP addresses to small businesses. Literally, the last octet is the only one that is any sort of indicator that you might be on the same subnet. Them being similar doesn't matter. Thank you. Really appreciate that. Saralai says, seeing as crack is still a federally illegal drug, handing out crack pipes is basically putting criminal evidence into people's hands so you can arrest them. Yeah, I mean, there's that, though. And Darth Vader says, you're handling that sandwich how Chandler handled his parents. Lovingly and deliciously, I'm sure is what you mean. Riley Bobbert says, pee pee poo poo mama's doo doo. There you go. Thank you for that. Whoa. Annalie Elizabeth says vitamin D comes from the sun Einstein. Excuse me, Annalie Elizabeth. I don't think you have met my friend Joe over at Good Logic. He would have all sorts of problems with you using Einstein's name in a sentence like that. Because, man, Einstein would have no idea where vitamin D came from or anything else about the world at all. Because Einstein was forever wrong. How dare you? How dare you? Barbara Van says, we're big fans of Vic's Star Trek Continues. Barbara, I hope you're planning on going to King's Landing, King's something, Georgia. Oh, fuck, I forgot what it's called. The studio for Star Trek Continues. Have you been to Star Trek Continues studio? You can still go see the set. And if you go at the right time, you can actually get a tour of the set from Vic himself. And I believe it's free. I think it's free. You got to go if you haven't gone. I took Lady Rackets. We had a blast. We had a very, very good time. Joe, welcome to Super Lawyer Status. Thank you, Joe, for joining. Silver Grove says literally late and breaded. Dark Cookie says YouTube no like Morse. Fuck it. I'm not doing the Morse code. He sent Morse code. I don't know what it says, but I think it's only racial slurs. That's what it's got to be. It's got to be racial slurs. The Neutral Zone in Kingsland, Georgia. That's what it's called. The Neutral Zone. Yeah, go check it out. Kingsland, Georgia. Nice little town. New dislike button says, when it comes to food, the ladies are communists. STFUFFS says, just watch the latest Sam Harris / JBP 2-hour conversation. Oh, Jordan Peterson. JL Haynes says, fridge control is in fresh food compartment. If your temp in your garage is below fresh food set temp, it won't cool. Even in freezer, nothing wrong with it. Well, except that my fridge, my garage is actually heated and the fridge has been running just fine for years in that garage. So I think there's a problem there. Vernon Copeland says Chelsea Handler and her buddy, both triple jabs, stopped tour in hospital for myocarditis. Lol. F. Jack Hudler says there's a full in-depth YouTube video about COVID-19 and vitamin D. The reason this happens, it suppresses the cytokine storm. SCFU says vitamin D, that's nuts. Who'd have thunk it? Mick B123 says play Dr. Harris's Jews stray out of rap. No, it's a crying shame. Welcome to Paralegal Status. Thank you. Ryoji Mata says, so Nick, I ate another PB&J and I made sure to put the jelly on top of the peanut butter again. Best method prevailed again. Yeah. Look, I know you think you can trigger me by saying this stuff. I think, I know you think that you can, like trigger me or get me excited. You fucking liar. You fucking liar. I know you're lying, you piece of shit. That's not how you make a sandwich. That's disgusting. I know you want to get me riled up. It's not going to happen. To Sugoi for you says Monica and Jamie's Harpy hooches are unbreaded. New dislike button says Nick pissed me off. Me, okay, peanut butter on the knife, right in the new jar of jam, then placing it on just the crust of the bread and licking it off. One day you'll die and go to hell. Jack Hudler says COVID-19 and vitamin D by Ninja Nerd. He's a professor. Evergreen says vitamin bread. Casperarius says you have a funny nose. Feel the vexing pain in my comment. Also, your Gunt avatar looks like Good Logic. Doesn't bother me at all if you say that. Yin Yang Dynasty says Biden won't send your kids to community college, but he will send them to the crack house. Hot fuzzy, or a fuzzy creature, not a hot fuzzy creature. Oh, God damn it. Says sandwich with peanut butter, then butter again, and jelly. I suppose you freaks deep fried afterward and add cinnamon and sugar. No. No, that probably would be good though. Except I can't eat deep fried food right now. Clumsy Clairvoyant says Law and Crime was caught filming lawyer-client notes today. Oh, that's nice. Good on Law and Crime for doing that. That's exactly why they're supposed to be in a courtroom. You imagine. You imagine these fucking people. Al Fivra says, if you look at Snopes, it rates the crack pipe thing as mostly false, then says it's true, but it's not the main part of the bill, so it's false. Lamer 5799 says the CIA strikes again. Ponton says they are calling it the Hunter Biden Addict Fairness Program. Tyler Reeves, hi Nick, hope you're doing well. Read that one earlier, but I hope you're doing well too, Tyler. MM says regarding the Biden Racial Justice Crack Pipe Program, TM, Snopes already has a fact check for it. You got to wonder at what point the Biden administration is actually sending ahead of time to Snopes the proper fact check responses. Think that's happening? I mean, that would never happen, right? Snopes is a publication of integrity and respect, so certainly they wouldn't be engaged in that type of, sort of degenerate content. I would never accuse Snopes of that. Daniel the One says, check your breaker in the electrical box for the fridge. Yes, I did, but I didn't need to. I still did, but I didn't need to because the fridge is actually on. It's just not cold. The Devil's Advocate says, gotta say, Daddy Jim before hitting the crack. Snowboard Dan says, this has to be because his son got caught smoking it. Deep service. Grilled PBJ club on dark rye with Swiss cheese. Nope. No, thank you. That's weird. Peanut butter and jelly on white bread is delicious. It's a near perfect sandwich made only better by adding one more slice of bread and 2 layers of butter. That's the only thing that makes it better. TD says, Nick, I'm immunocompromised by chemo, very high risk. I take high dosage vitamin D for multiple sclerosis and beat the coof in 3 days. Anecdotal, but I 100% endorse it. Also rip my social credit score. Yep. You are dead now. I mean, you're not going to survive the next round with it because the government will make sure of that. Riley Bobbert says, poopy butt stuff. Yeah. Okay. What do you think this is Yellow Flash's channel? Yellow Flash is the one who's scared of poop. Molenlabe 1371 says, hey Nick, the shakes isn't Parkinson's, it's alcohol withdrawal. Quick, take a drink per the medical literature, #science. Marksman, it's not actually Parkinson's. My hands don't shake, but there's something when it's something here. Notice I don't know if you can see it as much, but it's it's this motion. There's a nerve thing in my hand where my hand will shake. A lot of times if I'm gripping something, it'll do it. I don't know. Marksman AZ says the Bush DOJ sent Tommy Chong to prison for 9 months for selling bongs over state lines. Operation Pipe Dreams. Now government giving pipes out for free. WTF. Ultra Death Extreme Gaming says, is this the 5 o'clock free crack giveaway? Where's the crack? Where's the crack? Shin Chan says, tomorrow for the entire day, I'm going to finish everybody's sentence with, for black people, see what funnies come out. Not recommended. Not recommended. Venray Lull, welcome to Paralegal Status. Jay Griff says, on the bright side, the upcoming super crack epidemic will probably do wonders to solve the obesity epidemic. Bad Guacamole says, I was called racist when I asked a soul food restaurant owner in Seattle if Biden should continue giving crack pipes to blacks just now via phone. Did you send him the articles? You send him the articles about it? Ponton says the Hunter program's goal is to build a better tomorrow through healthier crackheads and needle users today, creating equity through addiction. Socks the Skok says, how's our favorite probate lawyer tonight? Did you hear about they are going to pump another $105 billion into the San Fran LA super train that has been in the works for like 10 years with no progress? Oh, just $105 billion though. That's great. HG Gundam Play says, Nick, what were you expecting? The left always says the right is racist, when in fact it's actually the left implementing the racist laws and programs. Snowboard Dan says, if you don't vote for Biden, you don't smoke crack. Greg McCormick says, if crack pipes are okay, why not ivermectin or HCQ? I don't know. I don't know what an ivermectin even is, you bigot. Peter Keys says, so if you got one of these pipes and got pulled over by the cops, can you get charged for paraphernalia? It's a good question. Nah, you see, I went and got it from the government clinic. That's what I got. Thomas Fenton says, Herbie like, nah, but master say he be good to us. Say he never going to sell us crap pipes for free, y'all. We's need to be fact checks your facts, y'all. The Silverman says, have you heard of the Earn It Act? Looks like a power grab for censorship under the guise of Think of the Children. Well, yeah, probably. Look, I know I've heard of it. I don't know anything about it though. And the government being involved in school, in my opinion, is that's actually the crime. David says that guy with the fused butt sounds like he's full of it. SFOX15, thank you for the donation. Ice Reptilian, welcome to Paralegal Status. SFOX15 says Biden crack pipes are the new Obama phones. Josh says Spire gas prices in Kansas City, Missouri has doubled their gas price from 40 cents per unit to 79 cents. Thomas Fenton says most of it is due to the fact that European globalists have made Europe dependent on Russian gas, such as why EU is in its current economic bind. You know what? I wonder, I think I got my gas bill and I think it was a lot more expensive. I'm trying to think if that was my gas bill or my electric bill that I saw. One of them looked high. Riley Bobbert says poopy pee in me. Poopy pee and me, not in me. That's a whole different thing. Elgonza 1000 says electric heating is 99% energy efficient, dingus. Yeah, baseboard electric heaters are not look, forced air heating of natural gas seems to be a lot fucking cheaper around here. I don't know. Maybe we do it wrong, but in Minnesota, the forced air electric or natural gas heating seems to be the most cost-effective heating that there is. William Barnes says drain whale oil from the fat left to burn as fuel. Enigma, the basement troll, says first the Obama phone, now the Biden pipe. What's next once Joe's brain is finally finished melting? The Harris coat hanger abortion. Ooh, those are fun. Scarlock says, I just realized something. Biden wants to pump minorities full of drugs. This has to be a CIA op. This is what they live for. Wolfgang Deo says, instead of giving crack pipes to the bracks, we could just remove taxes from Newport cigarettes. Just leave the sales tax if we are to have a tax. Yeah, they should do that anyway. They should remove excise taxes. Should not exist. Excise taxes is disgusting. The idea that we will pick an activity and tax it higher than other things because we don't like it is offensive to me. But that's me. Alex Scott Thompson says, my mom had a stroke today. So just crowdsourcing chat prayers. She's a boomer, so too stubborn to die. Just pray she recovers enough to babysit. Lol. Alex, that sucks. I hope she does have a full recovery. That can be a little bit tough to deal with. So Hipoopy says, you know what sucks? I was taking vitamin D when I got my severe case of the coof. It can help, but it's not a guarantee. Yeah, absolutely. Mephisto, well, that's what the article said. They went from basically one in 50 cases of people who did not have a vitamin D deficiency to 1 in 4 cases with people who did have a vitamin D deficiency being severe, right? 1 in 50 cases were severe when you didn't have the deficiency. 1 in 4 cases were severe when you did. But no, it's not a guarantee. Mephisto's movie review says, I am from Israel and this bullshit about vitamin D was known back in March of 2020 and they still locked us down. And of course, Joe Rogan talked about this exact issue in June 2020. I am pissed off. Jennifer Genter says, Nick, do you think that I should get a 4th pug? They're like crack pipes. Can't have just one, eh? You should not get a 4th dog. You should not do that. Hipoopy says, I showed my husband the touchdown. On paper, unbreaded video and he didn't laugh. Should I divorce him? I'm not one to advocate for divorce, but maybe get a second marital bed. You know, just saying, maybe you need to sleep apart. Trippy McGuire 556 says, "Oi, Nick, hope you enjoy being the first and probably only person I've ever given shekels to. Take my crisis counselor bucks. If you make it to Idaho or Washington, I'll crack the blue label for you." Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, Trippy McGuire. I appreciate that. British Gridiron Film says, Dr. John Campbell on YouTube has lots of vitamin D content dating back to April 2020, 2,000 to 4,000 IU. If you work mostly inside, helps prevent many things. Margot Rona says, Nick, glad to hear you talking about vitamin D. Just FYI, everyone be careful with the dosings as vitamin D can easily build up to toxic levels. Stay undeaded. Talk to your doctor about all this stuff. Don't do anything alone. Hippoopy says, one Africa theory has to do with the lack of sanitizing stuff, as well as getting lots of other illnesses, allows the immune system to work. Government issued crack pipe says, just wanted to say I love and support all communities, especially underrepresented ones. Wolfgang Deo, time to take my projector and desktop to the nearest community college and look through eBay trying to find nice guns, bullets, and explosive. Hi, ATF. Devil's Advocate says AD&D second edition is the only edition. Get wrecked. I love AD&D second edition. I really do. That's where I started learning about D&D, and it holds a special place in my heart. I love Thaco and stuff. I'm just saying I don't hate 5th edition. And I will say this, for live streams, 5th edition is really simplified, and it makes things pretty easy for live streams. Like if you're streaming a game, 5th edition is pretty easy to stream. William Barnes says, I made a wheelchair character once, but it's okay because she was a mermaid monk. Slap the hell out of you with her tail and get back in the water. Wooden's Lost Eye, welcome to Super Lawyer status. Crusadist Viewing says, I wish someone cooler than Tim Pool was sponsored by Civil War II. I think it'll be a nationwide airsoft competition with consequences. Catharsis. Keldrig says, breaking news, boomers don't understand texting. Wolfgang, Matthew Weber says, all the nerd content is anymore. Sad times. See Razor Fist on comics, but we know this. BBC says, Nick, please do a toast for my father. He passed away from brain cancer, but insisted on still working his tech job after 5 brain surgeries. So his children and grandkids got insurance money. Part 1 of 2. Says he was insanely tough and an awesome father and role model. FYI, he got the insurance money. Of course. To the father of BPC, a man who, though afflicted, was unwilling or too stubborn or perhaps just too focused on being a dad, let a little thing like brain cancer get in the way of doing the work he was there to do. And I'm not talking about his job, of course. I'm talking about provision for his children. He recognized the importance of leaving a legacy for them. And he did so monetarily, but of course, even to the end, was teaching them a lesson that they would carry on for their children and for everyone else who encountered them. Cheers to him. May he rest in peace. John Connor says, need to get you on the Why We Game podcast with Broder. Would be great to hear how and why you got into gaming and more on your views on the Edition Wars. Sure. Happy to go on other shows as long as it fits as long as I can get it, in my schedule. Tara Rayner says, this is the equivalent of Binger's COD questioning of Kyle and Trudeau cowers for geese. They honk. Gunnar says, all of us are apparently Nick Rekieta now because these chats are associated with your account. Andrew Michael Paul says, my pretrial hearing is tomorrow. Rumor has it I took a bite. Eaton County, Michigan. Okay. Wait, who the fuck is Andrew Michael Paul? Who is this? Charged with murder of Carl Florian. Oh, fuck. Here we go. You want to see him? A 79-year-old man was found dead and mutilated on Father's Day. The suspect was allegedly spotted with bloody clothing the night before. A man has been charged in connection with the killing and mutilation of a beloved elderly father in Michigan whose body was discovered on Father's Day. Andrew Michael Paul stands accused of killing 79-year-old Carl Florian over the weekend and mutilating the body. Defendant was arraigned Tuesday afternoon in Eaton County Court and charged with 1 count of homicide, open murder, and 1 count of disinterment and mutilation of a dead body. Bond in the case was denied, according to local CBS affiliate WLNS. Florian was found by one of his adult sons on Sunday after he didn't show up to a planned Father's Day party. He had been shot to death. The suspect, however, was never really in doubt. Andrew Paul's parents had called authorities prior to the discovery of Florian's body to report that their son came home covered in blood. Quick look around the immediate area for a body, human or animal, that might have explained the blood. Didn't turn up anything, and the report was filed away, but police didn't have to wait long. Let's see. Arrested at a residence, was then arrested at his residence nearby, taken into custody. Not presumed to be any additional suspects. Quite a bit of distance between the homes. They weren't neighbors, but they were down the road, a different road. Let's see. So wait, it says he was dismembered, mutilated body, but it just says he was shot. It was apparent that he was shot to death. Was it apparent that his body was mutilated? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. Check my Twitter DMs. You say you don't realize how many there are. What is this? Very good. Very good. Okay. Let's move on from this. Andrew Michael Paul. So is it going to be live streamed? Is the pretrial hearing going to be live streamed? I'll see if I can find it. If it is, maybe it'd be interesting to watch. Doggo Greg says, speaking of protruding foreheads, look up Tammy Slayton. She's so large, her body literally resulted to storing it in her forehead. Skullgar Thane says, this page sounded like one of those bad beatnik poetry readings you're supposed to snap to instead of clack. I read it that way, actually, on purpose. That's true. Glad you got that. Nobody says, think he typed all that out or just copy pasted. I think he copy pasted because I don't think you can type that screed without getting some typos, and it looks very consistent. Ponton says, if it's the same page repeating for that long, it's a cut and paste job meant to F with the reader. Why not remove the dupes? Crusader Saracen says, just so you know, Nick, my eye twitched with yours. He also says, by Allah, this podcast gave me the cancer. Crusadist Viewing says, 1920s Bush couldn't have been good enough to allow this. No one important says, why is it that white women are always unfunny? Isn't that a good fucking question? They think if they just cackle at their own jokes that they somehow gain comedy. It's not how it works. Not how it works. Twilight Dragon says, listening to these two harpies truly is hell. Satan, you outdid yourself. Bravo. Wrestler Town says, I don't think they even deserve us to listen to this. If you stop listening now, you can guarantee the deserved and permanent result that no human on earth will have listened to the end. Not Applicable says, do horses even feel shame? Might be the problem. Not Applicable says, he was pulling her reins. She couldn't hear him. Patrick Allen says, you should use the heifer photo from the court documents link on their site as your added avatar. The Marshallist says, one love. Ian Mack says, have you researched other ISP options in your local area? You want me to start the fucking podcast up? Is that what we're doing? You think this is a joke? Farmhouse Feltz says, Nick, can you do a toast for Melanie Ham? She was a fellow YouTube creator on here who lost her battle with cancer recently. She left behind 2 beautiful kids. She was only 36 years old. She was an amazingly creative person. Sure. To Melanie Ham. to Melanie Ham. Hold on just a second. To Melanie Ham, losing a battle with cancer. Or do you really lose a battle with cancer? I don't like that phrasing. Let me restart. To Melanie Ham, who passed away with cancer very recently, leaving behind 2 children, Melanie Ham had engaged in one of the most important and unique roles that any human will get to participate in, and that is being a mother. I say unique because though motherhood is something that can be achieved by roughly half the population, it doesn't mean that any of them will, and it doesn't mean that any of them do it the same. Mothers are different. Mothers are unique. Mothers are special. They instill in their kids love, companionship, camaraderie, and reliance. And they do it in a way that no father actually can because of the bond created while the child grows inside them. It's a truly special act that deserves some recognition. And Melanie left behind 2 of those truly special acts, hopefully to carry on into truly special people. Cheers, Melanie and her children. Okay. All right. Wolfgang Deo says, talk to a dietitian about nutrition. Riley Bobbert says, poop me to sleep. Oh, wait, it skips some stuff here. Oh my gosh, it skipped a whole bunch of stuff. What the fuck? All right. Wolfgang Deo says, hey, Nick, how about you get on Rumble, Odyssey, MySpace, Vimeo, LV, and some other streaming service? I can walk away when you play the podcast. I think I do have a Vimeo channel. It's either Vimeo or Daily Motion or something. I have one somewhere, like with 2 videos on it. Arakoixo, thank you for the donation. C Goody564 says, disclaimer, I do not represent this channel or its views. Fuck off. Shin-chan says, I didn't hear that last part. You must be muted or my ears were devastated by those shrill harpies you made me listen to. I feel physically ill. Death Trout says, what's covering up? I'm not a cat. One, there's a chair. My daughter was in here playing Slime Rancher. Slime Rancher is a game on Steam. I don't know anything about it, but my kids like it. And then so I have my other computer back there, and then I had to plug it in, and there's Robute Gilliman down there. Robust Girly Man is down there in front of the cat. So chair and Roboot. Sorry. They love Slime Rancher, man. They play the shit out of that. My little 4-year-old was sitting there playing it. She kept talking to me though, and I was it's like I had my headphones in, kept having to take them out. Like, what? I was talking to other people. It was pain. Let's see. Philibooty says, Nick, you think that is a threat to play these 2 whales, but I'm hard just thinking about you playing them again. Your buttery router needs a lick. Wolfgang Deo says, vitamin D is produced by the body. However, in order for it to turn into the form which we call vitamin D, one needs to be in the sun, not from the sun. Demetrius says, hello from Russia, Nick. Came for Rittenhouse, stayed for the degeneracy. Keep it up. Biden crack pipe thing made me laugh hysterically. By the way, politics in the West have become better than any comedy. Geomancy Game says, fighting cancer. You give me great laughs during treatment. Tell fellow dorks to come sub so I make a few coins for more video games. Hey, guys, go check out Geomancy Games. Check them out. Fighting cancer. Hopefully kicking its ass, but also video game content over on Geomancy Games. Give it a shot. Check them out. BPC says, about the toast for my father, I forgot to add his name because I had to split it up into 3 parts. His name was Dave, part 3 of 3. Well, BPC, I already did the toast to your father. But Dave sounded like a very good man. Trucker Rob says, how's it going there, Rackets? It's great, buddy. It's going great. Let's see. Spoony Jank says peanut butter in the jelly jar is fine. Jelly in the peanut butter jar is not. Have you guys ever seen that absolutely ungodly and very much unchristian, horrific thing. It's jar and it's got like lines of peanut butter and jelly. It's like, oh, it's both in the same jar. And you're just supposed to like scoop it out and spread. Oh God. That stuff looks disgusting. Ew. Every time I see that, I want to go complain to a manager. Hallucinosa says, here in California, we put sun butter on okay. Sun butter on both pieces of bread. Can we? I better refresh the old chat window here. We're having some slowdown issues. On both pieces of bread, then Concord grape jelly in the center. This way, fewer gingers die. Let's see. New dislike button says, take the peanut butter, take the jelly, then take the bread, mash them together in a bowl, eat up, then grab the trusty, racially unbiased crack pipe and go to town. That sounds like a deconstructed peanut butter sandwich. Wolfgang Dale says, Nick, come get your vitamin D's nuts. Tara Rayner says, peanut butter goes on the jam. Don't be weird. Look up and play, please, quick, a video on Tire Roaster's Garage YouTube channel, The Fuel Army, trolling Ottawa police, and it's hilarious. Truck Fudo, maybe. What the hell is this? Tire Roaster's Garage. See how long it is.
Howdy, friends, pals, dudes.
Shit, that's loud. Okay, here we go. It's just a minute long. We'll take a peek at it. Let's see some freedom. It's, you know how fucking sad it is, by the way, and how much I hate it, that we have to look to Canada for a dose of freedom. How embarrassing for the United States. Wait, I have this fucking volume turned way up still.
Play your next move, Trudeau, you fuckhead. Play your next move, Trudeau.
Take away the gas cans. We'll all bring gas cans. Fuck you. We got a drum circle. It is still Canada. They're still basically liberal, so they've got the drum circle going.
We have a lot of fuel reserves. We are living. You want to hit us with confusion? We'll hit you harder. That's a fucking game you guys want to play.
Hit us with confusion. What is this? Is this a Pokemon battle? He hit us with the confusion. It was very effective. It was a little weird there at the end. But no, it's great. It's great. Again, the fact that I have to go look at fucking Canada. The fact that I have to go to Canada to look for demonstrations of freedom is hurting my soul. Riley Bobbert says pee poo. Okay. And Shinchan says, you are muted, need to change ISPs, and sandwiches are the lowest form of consuming food. Unmod, please. No, not after that shit. Not after that shit. You think you just leave? You think you just get out of this? You think you just get out of being a mod? No, not a chance. Wolfgang Deo says, Binga, say what? My binger, binger. Hard R bingers there. Wolfgang Deo says excise tax, sin taxes should be paid by innocent. The Magic Chance Shell says, hey, Nick, been watching since the George Floyd trial. Why do you stream so late? Don't you have a real job? I can't ever find an answer on this mystery. Yeah, here's why I stream so late. I streamed this late when I was actively practicing law as well. But I do not really practice law very much right now, because I rather do YouTube than practice law in a small town. So with that said, I mean, my real job is this. This is my job. It's my employment. But I don't stream so late because this is my job. Why I stream so late is because this is when my kids are least active and generally asleep. They go to bed about 9. I tend to try and spend 9 to about 11 with Lady Rackets hanging out. And then I come down and do the show. And by that time, usually the kids are either asleep or very close to it. So gives me about, a couple uninterrupted hours to really hang out with the chat and do a show properly. If I'm doing a show during the day, a lot of times I'm interrupted. So that's that. Riley Bobbert says, poop me to sleep. Wolfgang Deo says, talk to a dietitian about nutrition. Laura says, got my gas bill this month, $400. Then I realized they hadn't processed my payments for the last 6 months. That's terrible. Radio Ruin says, Eaton County. Then we've got Based Crocodile saying, have Drexel read Unbreaded Uncensored when he's on. We'll have to see. White Crow says, why are there no Irish lawyers? They can't pass a bar. Greg McKay says, Slime Rancher is absolutely harmless, but be super careful with kids playing on apps, my guy. Yes. The Slime Rancher that they play on isn't an app. Maybe they have one, I guess, for tablets or phones. I don't know, but they play it through Steam. I have no idea. Let's see. Parahelion says, morning, Nick. Tuned into the shrill voices of the dead eggs. Pretty sure that shit is against the Geneva Convention. Snap Crackle Pop says, you and everyone should know about a Chromium browser extension called Return YouTube Dislike. It's awesome. Love you, brother. Thanks for being you. Perihelion says, I was wondering, where did you learn to make such beautiful speeches? Is that a church thing or what? Makes me wish I was dead sometimes. I don't know. Look, I was a creative writing major. Some people have said I'm decent at wordery, but I don't know. I try to just care. I don't know if that helps. I try to care a little bit. Wolfgang Deo says, "Fook about and find out." True don't. True don't. Fook about and find out. That's the funniest fucking super chat. Tara Rayner says, every time they clamp down, a new blockade pops up. They effed around for 2 years and found out. Cops resigning and liberal MPs broke ranks today. Proud. Death Trout says, Lamau, he said the kids go to bed at 9. No, they go, believe it or not, they go to their beds at 9. This is what I said. I'm being very precise. Sorry. They go to their beds at 9 and they take their tablets with them because I'm the worst dad on the planet. Or sometimes they'll take a book. If I've done God's will for the day, they'll take a book with them instead of their fucking iPad. But usually it's their iPad, and then they're supposed to calm down for a little bit. then only then do they go to sleep eventually. But it is the system I have. See the fun you had did go to depths. That's it. Not here. That's the show for the night. So I want to say thank you to everybody for showing up. Really appreciate you being here every night. It's a big fun thing. It's 2:45 in the morning. Is Reacher on Amazon Prime? Should we watch an episode of Reacher tonight? I can't do a long Twitch show, but I could maybe watch an episode of Reacher. Should we do that? Let's see. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see. 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 Let Yeah, Reacher's on Twitch, Prime Video. Let's check it out. We're going to do the first episode of Reacher tonight. Pop over to twitch.tv/Recato Law if you want to join us for that. If you have Amazon Prime, if you don't have Amazon Prime, you'll have to find some other way to watch Reacher. And I don't know any legal ways that would exist other than Amazon Prime because it's an Amazon show. But that's where we will be. It's going to be just a short show. I'm going to get some lactose-free milk because I have double nutty Nutter Butters to have with lactose-free milk. Not Lactaid milk. Lactaid milk is different, by the way. I'm not a big fan of Lactaid milk. Abe Blinken, Praxis. Praxis says to Abe Blinken, sorry, bro, Nick is whipped to the mundanity of his spouse, whom feeds all the family triple-breaded peanut butter. No, I will stand up for Lady Rackets here. Hashtag only simp for your wife. She does not. She finds the triple-decker peanut butter and jelly sandwich to be disgusting. She hates it. She thinks it's nasty. It makes her gag. She hates the idea of unmelted butter in general. So then having it on both sides of bread makes her hate it even more. She does not like that sandwich. And she only makes it for me on occasion out of love because I ask her to. But she thinks it is barbaric and it is villainy of the highest order. So please lay lots of blame at Lady Rackets' feet. One for enabling me as a human, one for enabling me as a man. But do not lay the triple-decker peanut butter sandwich at her feet. I invented it long before I met her. So there you go. Tara Rayner says, out for a rip video is most Canadian thing ever. Oh God, no, not tonight. That's it. Come over to twitch.tv/Recato Law if you want to hang out with us and watch a little bit of Jack Reacher. We'll see you there. Thanks, guys. Have a good night. Peace. Peace.
Oh, he drinks a fair bit, but you realize that it just helps get his noggin jogging along. With his glass by his side and his kids asleep tight, we'll hear some law-splaining tonight. With his microphone muted, we'll laugh at this boomer until he explains it's all part of the plan. Watch his face become redder as he becomes meta, raging at idiots from Twitterland. From the white shores of Maine to the hills of Glenlivet, there's no one who explains the law better than Nick. So pour out a glass for the ones who have passed to make the law what we have now. Oh, his lady is fair, and she handles herself with the grace of one who has borne many children. As the wife of a lawman, she makes sure that he has the time and the place to provide for them there. So pour out an Ardbeg, a Balmore, a Lafroig, the spirits flow as the ones who get unemployed. So pour out a glass for the tea post on Twitter as we hear law-splaining tonight. From the white shores of Nairn to the hills of Glenlivet, there's no one who explains the law better than Nick. So pour out a glass for the ones who have passed to make the law what we have now. Oh, the guests are all plentiful, from Dundee to Drexel. They bring their perspective and spice to the mix. But the reason we're here and the one that we cheer is the one who is showcasing us his career. Spirits flow as the ones who get unemployed. So pour out out a glass for the tea post on Twitter as we hear Lost Blaming tonight. From the white shores of Nairn to the hills of Glenlivet, there's no one who explains the thought better than Nick. So pour out a glass